gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome to our Maker Hangout. My name is Liam. My channel is Astropreneur, as you probably see. I'm Astropreneur on YouTube and on Twitch and on Instagram. So this is a casual hangout where other makers come online, come on screen if they want to chat. You can stay in chat and type your questions, or you can come on screen with us and interact with us on screen. I already have a couple of guys already hanging out in the background who I want to bring in. So let's say hi to everybody.
Hello,
hey, Jerry.
And welcome to Jerry's Garage. I'm burning on the X tool. Hello, Liam. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm tired, actually. Hay fever is killing me. It's really bad up here right now, and this time of year, it's tough.
Hello, everybody out there across the world that's watching.
So we have somebody else. Hey, Matt. Matt's frozen.
He's having camera issues.
Sorry.
Loopy, thank you again for another subscription. Thank you again. 4 months in a row. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Well,
hey,
my name is Matt, and I'm printing right now nothing.
I'm not printing anything because I'm streaming. Yeah, I'm not printing anything because I'm streaming. I want to do one more piece for Starship, which is a new front face for it. And I'm going to change that. For those who didn't see it, this is my SpaceX Starship Super Heavy.
It doesn't look that heavy. I think
These
it's like
move.
2 pounds.
Hey, man, Brady.
It's about that, yeah. And the lights, and I put an LED light in there. You can see the LED light glowing inside, but it looks really cool. Hey, Steve Dickens. Hey, Ben. Who else there? So it looks really cool. It's got the motors in here as well, the engines.
Okay, there you go. All right.
So I've been printing that I printed that last week because I was at the museum all weekend. And it was a big hit. Everybody loved all the rockets that I had on display because I had this. I had my Falcon 9. My Falcon 9 is not the scale of this. If my Falcon 9 was to scale, which is about the same height as this when it's put together, if it was actually the scale, the Falcon 9 is only the height of the booster. So the Falcon 9 is this tall, to real scale, and then you'd have Starship above on top of that again. So it wasn't to scale, but a lot of people had lots of questions about how we get to orbit and all this stuff. So I spent a lot of time explaining that over the weekend. I think I probably spoke to about 2,000 people over the space of the weekend, roughly.
I'm getting ready to install my Kerbal Space program.
Kerbal is cool. The nice thing about Kerbal is the physics and the science involved in it is actually good. It's real. The guys who developed Kerbal worked with NASA on developing the physics for it to ensure what we're doing was correct. So the physics of it is actually correct in Kerbal. It's good and it's fun to use. You should also try, if you like that, you should also try.
They're coming out with Kerbal Space Program 2.
Yeah,
but it got delayed.
No, there's another one called Universe Sandbox. If you like Kerbal, about building rockets, Universe Sandbox, I think it's free, allows you to build solar systems and see how stuff interacts when you move stuff around. And when you could have a solar system moving and you make the sun disappear and you'll see the orbit, the motion of the planet completely change because there's no sun there. It's really cool to watch. And again, the physics in that is good. So it's really, they're fun stuff. I use I like the solar system Sandbox or Universe Sandbox, I think it's called, because of it's good to get demonstrations for kids when you're explaining about stuff about space because they can actually see it happen on screen. So that's kind of fun.
Are you seeing the blank? Like him just blank. That just blank on my side.
Blink again.
You're breaking
out. You were a bit blotchy, Jerry, actually.
Wow.
Your graphics have gone.
I don't
The
know.
robot.
Yeah.
Wow, our video team. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Why.
Matt's is okay. Yours has gone really bad, Jerry.
I don't know. I'm in the garage. I have burn going, so I can't run in the house. I can't leave later.
I can't understand you. You're all robotic-y. And now your video's frozen.
Me?
Yeah. Now it's back
Wow.
again, but it's still bad. Jerry is broken. Everybody's saying Jerry is broken. I'm printing a picture bottle of Soda Stream adapter. God, it's so.
The only thing I got light on another computer, but
I don't know. Something is affecting it. It was fine a while ago.
let me leave and come
It's
back.
starting to come back
Let me
now.
leave and come. I'll come back in a minute.
Sure. I got a Soda Stream actually one from Philips, not the original, on Amazon, super cheap last week. I wonder if it will withstand the pressure. Petchy, as long as it should, as long as you print it with no cooling fan, if you can, if there's no overhangs or bridging, it should do it. Print it hot, it'll stick together. Let it cool. No cooling on the part, because if you do that, the layers on it here as well. So eliminate cooling. Hey Bear, thank you Bear for the up on your subscription. Thank you so much, Bear.
Bear.
Let me get the link out there for everybody. If you didn't get,
please.
yeah, I'll just
Everybody.
paste it out there for everybody. If you want to come join, there is a link, guys. You are welcome to come in and join the conversation. Hey Vincent, how's life? Heidi ho, neighbor. Yeah, set the flow a bit higher. You don't need the flow higher, because then if you set the flow too high, they may not fit together.
Well,
But,
Bear, I have a
hey,
few
Vincent.
questions for you about
Okay.
my Prusa.
I don't know Prusa's machines, but I have an idea. I mean, a printer's a printer, right?
Yeah, I have.
So what's
Well,
the
right now I'm
Hey,
still
Vincent.
checking the cables.
Hey,
I have to check the cables over. If the cables are all okay, then I can print. But if it's not okay, then
So what's the
I
problem?
can't print with it. When I do the settings, I get layer shifts, and it says the y-axis. I have an X on it.
That means your
a
y-axis. So if it's layers just on the y-axis, it could be that your y-axis belts or something are loose.
No, they're very tight. I
It
mean,
can be too
not
tight
too
as
tight,
well, you
not
know.
too tight. Yeah, I know, not too tight. I mean, that's perfect. They just come halfway down to the middle when I press them down.
That
They're
should be
not
okay.
touching each other, and they have a good, like, when you go like this, they have a good vibration thing on it. You know.
Did you know that you have a Prusa, so you can call them and they will jump online and help you out and fix it?
All right. Yeah, I know.
Because
but,
that's what they're good at. That's what the extra money when you pay for a Prusa.
Yeah, but I didn't pay
Your
for
hardware
it.
is the
so-
hardware is the hardware. It's the same as most printed hardware.
Yeah, but I
Chances
didn't pay
are,
for it.
he's saying, are you doing time lapse prints? Are you doing any time lapse prints? Like, are you stop moving the head to one spot, taking a photograph, and moving, and then resuming the next?
No.
He's not. Okay.
No.
Well, call them. That's why you have the more
Okay.
expensive machine. You pay $500 for a machine that other companies sell for less than $200. You get the support, right?
Yeah, I really wanted to take it with me to the fair where I'm going to on Saturday, Sunday. But
Then get on the call, get on the phone with them in the morning.
yeah,
Unless Bear has some other suggestions, because he's got a whole pile of Prusas, and Jerry has a Prusa.
Here's something I did earlier. If you want to
Chris.
show real quick.
Yeah, Chris wants to know what you're burning.
me?
No,
I did-
Jerry.
I did this Viking earlier, and I got the wood flipped over. Those are 5 or 6 2x4s. I glued together and sanded down both sides, and I'm doing a different image on the other side. It's like an Aztec skull warrior thing with spears.
Oh, it looks
That
like
right
Viking.
there has the axes, and that's
More
a
like
Viking.
a Viking, yeah, to me too.
And when I get done, I'm going to take a torch to it. I'm going to torch it on both sides. When I get both pictures done, then I'm going to stain one side red, one side blue, and make a video out of it.
Nice. Nice, very nice. Yeah. I got Creality sent me for the laser that they sent me. They sent yesterday, and I haven't got time to do it yet. They sent me an updated firmware for the machine that helps with Lightburn integration, which should eliminate some of those issues. I got mine working with Lightburn, but other people were struggling with it, and I got mine working. And then they also included, since my SD card arrived empty, it also included the SD card contents apparently. So I need to download that and then flash the firmware, which is just copy to the SD card, plug it in, and power it on. And then they should have had the profile configuration file for the printer or for the laser for Lightburn. So if that's on the machine, I just have to import that and it should be functioning again. So we'll see. But it's working fine for me. It's just they released updated firmware because people were reporting issues with Lightburn. So, but I was lucky. I got mine functioning the way it was. Hey, Stephen, how are you?
Another burn on my hands. Saw the 2 trees a couple days ago. It's like 6-hour burn. And then the following day, I started burning some 5mm birch that I had. And an hour into the burn, laser stopped. My Lightburn was still running. So I'd done it twice, and it happened. It shut down twice after an hour each time. Contacted 2 trees. They had a couple ideas about updating the firmware, doing this, doing that. What it wound up being is all they had to do is reboot the computer. For some unknown reason, when I'd done that long burn, the next day I just had to reboot the computer. So once I rebooted it, something to do with the USB, I don't know. But once I rebooted it, burned fine.
Cool. You see these guys? Let me come over here and show you.
Space Hipster. Nice.
I have a few of these, not many. I have a handful of these. It's a group. It's actually a group on Facebook, but it's all about the old space, like the shuttle and the Apollo program and so on. It's cool. It's a cool group. So, what are you working on, Vincent? Or are you awake?
No. I'm cleaning out the place. And Sunday, I'm gonna glue the arch together because I had a couple of days doing some other stuff. Because my uncle finally passed away 2 days ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. We're waiting. We were basically, it's never fun, but we were basically waiting for it.
Well, when someone's that sick, then sometimes it's. I've been through it with my parents, right? They were sick for a long time, and when set independently of different times, different years. But when they're sick for a long time, it's not nice to happen. But when it does happen, you're kind of in the back of your mind saying they're no longer suffering anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes it's a gift that it actually that they eventually reach that point. They're holding on for some reason, and eventually when they give in and let it take.
Yeah, he was waiting until his daughter out of Australia was here, because he came here and not even 24 hours later he was gone.
Something similar happened to my mom. Actually, we had visited Ireland with my son. He was only a baby at the time, a year old, and 2 years old, and we visited him.
I've got basically the hardest job of all. I have to sort through the photos, make DVDs, make sure that the music is correct because of the funeral and everything, and I'm doing that for the past 2 days. And after that, when everything is done, I have to clean out the house. So that's hard.
Hey, Chris. Yeah. I don't have to do that.
Especially if you look through the photos.
Yeah, I was living overseas, and because I was living overseas, I was actually in Ireland when my mum passed. I wasn't there when my dad passed, and I have all my family are still there, so they did all. They took care of all of that. I didn't have to do any of that, luckily. Because I had to travel for overseas and everything. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, so this Friday we got he's going basically. We got that send off, and then he's gonna be cremated.
Yeah.
And then Saturday is gonna be a big party, basically because my brother is gonna be 50, so it's a little bit mixed feelings.
Well. When I go, I'm telling everybody here and now, when it's my turn to go, I want to be buried face down with my butt sticking out outside my front door, with my butt sticking out of the ground, because then they'll have someone to park their bikes. That's
If
what
I
want.
get buried,
That's my
I want to
wish.
get buried in a big pyramid, and I want all my friends and like my fiancée. She's gonna be my wife, and she's gonna be with me inside the pyramid.
Years,
So he
years
wants to
ago,
take them with him.
years ago, I wanted to get buried in a coffin, in the cemetery, and all that. I couldn't imagine burning a body and the whole idea of it. But it's so cheap to do it. So now I'd rather be cremated. Nothing fancy. Put me in a cardboard box, whatever. Do what you want with me, but I don't want any kind of expense, waste of money.
Yeah.
We got the bill yesterday, and basically only keeping my uncle cool costs 110 euros a day.
That's right, Ben. So people can park their bikes.
People, how's it going?
Pretty good.
I have an idea. The community can print me a 3D printed pyramid. Like life size.
And if I have
One
any
Lego
enemies out
brick
there,
at a time.
Well,
if I have any enemies out there, take my ass.
here's the one thing that I need to remember. Going by everything that Louise has told us about Matt, he only really needs a small pyramid.
Oh.
Yeah, Lego bricks. That's all he needs. Lego bricks.
So I was looking
news
for
is-
some transparent glue, and finally found some. I'm gonna pick up another 20 tubes tomorrow.
That's epoxy.
Yeah, and this works very good
For what?
for the arch to glue together.
I like the CA glue, the active with the activator, because it's instantly hard. You put
Yeah.
it on, you line everything up, you hold it in place. Maybe even put some tape on it if you need to. If it's hard to hold, tape on it, and then spray, take the tape off. You're done. Instantly hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this out tomorrow because these were very cheap. So I'm gonna test it out.
I keep telling Christy when I die, banana splits for everybody. Yeah. I agree with you, Ben.
Show you something.
Yeah, I like
But to
banana
get to the
splits.
banana splits, they need to walk over the banana peels all over the floor. That leaving me funny.
First, my Octoprint stopped. I showed you this one.
Oh, did you ever see?
And tried the next one, and my filament was IMT. I think, oh,
Did you ever see the video? I'll have to find the YouTube video and share it out in chat. Let me go find it in a while. There's a YouTube video of an Irish guy who recorded as part of his because we bury people mostly, right? And as part of it, he had the video was a recording of his voice, because he knew he was dying, of his voice inside the coffin. They had it set up with remote control.
Yeah.
And he started singing and everything like that, and he started telling everybody hello, knocking on the coffin.
I've seen that one.
Knocking on the coffin and everything. It's hilarious. Everybody standing around the graveside that were actually laughing. It was really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So at two big
I want
failures.
to fall asleep like my grandpa, not like everybody else in the car yelling and screaming. There's other cures for that, Ben. You can buy pumps nowadays to fix that for you. Let me see if I can find that.
What, your pump?
No, no. We're not as old as you.
Yeah, invite me. Hey there, subsector.
Subsector. Yeah.
Your parcel subsector is now in the US. I got notification, so it's in the US for you. So it's getting closer.
Where's my parcel?
Well, it's you're not special enough. That's all, Matt. Sorry. That's the way it is.
I think this is it. Yeah, this has got 14 million views. Let me get the link. 1 second.
That one was funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy it here.
It arrived in Los Angeles this morning, subsector.
So let me put. Hey, subsector, how are you? I'm sorry. I was searching for something.
The last
There's the
words
link,
that
guys. You should watch that. It's hilarious.
The last words that my uncle was telling my mom and his daughter was, "It's time to see my son," and then he was gone.
Well, that's a good way to go.
Yep.
Cyberpam, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. So yeah, that link, you should go watch that video when you get time, guys. It was well done. So Subsector, you got a laser. What laser did you get? You say you play pew pew, so I assume you got a laser.
We'll probably say focus.
It was a focus laser you got? Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
a nice thing.
That's my guess.
I'm thinking that as well. But yeah, the focus laser is a nice machine. The new Corelli one is a nice one. Hey, Hutch, how are you? Oh, cool. Yeah, they are a nice little laser. Bit of assembly involved, but that's fine. That's part of the fun, right?
Yeah, ask Dora if the new FDM printer comes out, the big one.
It's not ready yet.
I know. If I can review it or can have one, you know.
Yeah, everyone get to use lasers. Yeah, lasers are fun, and a lot of people do like coasters and so on. So a lot of people, like if you're creative at all, you can have fun with them. Or if you're into paper crafts, you can actually use it like paper or card craft. You can use it to cut that as well, in very fine detail, which is really nice. So what are you up to, Kieran? What are you printing? Now, I see your printer's empty, Kieran. How dare you?
It's empty. Well, it wasn't.
You're wasting
20 minutes
time.
ago. It wasn't 20 minutes ago, so that's okay.
You're letting it cool down.
And you never saw the finished Starship, guys. Look. Let me bring myself full screen.
Have you got a light in the cockpit? Is it?
I put a light in there too.
Yep.
That LED has been running on 2 batteries, 2 where are they? 2 AA's. I set up with the LED. It was powered on Saturday morning, and it has not shut off yet. It's still going.
Did you draw on the girders in the end across the cockpit light, the cockpit window?
They're part of the design.
Okay, there's a texture
And
of the design.
I did go over them with a silver.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You did highlight it. Yeah, highlight the edge. Looks
and then you
good.
have the booster.
Oh, great.
So I said, if this was the scale, my Falcon 9, which is way bigger than, is about the same height as this together, but in real life scale, the Falcon 9 is about this tall. The whole Falcon 9 is this tall. If it was the scale, and this would be like if this was as big as my Falcon 9, it'd be about 1 3/4 times the size, and this diameter would be about so big. So.
Yeah, lots of small Lego bricks for Matt Mink Customs. That's all he needs. That's Lego bricks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Now my Saturn V turns up today, actually, Liam.
Sorry?
My Saturn V gets delivered today, according to my.
Oh, your Lego?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. It takes about 8 hours to build. If you sit down.
Yeah, I just wanted to get in because it's been discontinued again, so I don't know how it will ever turn up again. They discontinued the Saturn V and the lander.
Well, they do iterations. So the only reason why they brought it back again was it was so popular that the people were asking for it, and they said, okay, we'll bring it back in for a short period of time. But they've stopped it again, and like they're stopping the space
little lander model as well. Yeah.
And the shuttle, they're stopping those soon as well.
Yep.
Special stuff is only for a certain time period.
Yeah, and it was hard.
It's like when you grab at McDonald's, they bring it back so people run the flock to get it when it does come back.
Well, yeah, but even in the past, they've always done specials for a short period and then they end it, maybe a year or so, and then they end it.
Yeah.
And then people buy them up and they put them on eBay and jack up the price, and you get screwed until they come back out with them again.
Yep.
Try not to use a personal instead of the subsector instead of using my personal one. Yeah, that video is really funny. The fact that somebody activated from above, and it was actually a recording that he made before he died that he put in his coffin. That was
evil man. Yeah.
No, it was priceless. Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's something I would probably do because it would be funny for everybody standing there.
Well, we can put you in your coffin now if you like.
Off you go. At least I might get some rest that way.
Yeah, there is that. So now all I've been doing is restocking my after last week, restocking all my giveaways. All the
Oh right, cool. Let me put them up full screen. Give me a second while I move you to full screen.
I had a whole pile of these and I gave them all away, so I had to make
no
some
dying today. I agree. We were just talking about
Nice.
a funny video. I'll post the
Hey,
link
Sergio.
again.
So that's
what
all I've
you
been
doing?
doing. Just finishing off just getting
No,
out
saying hi to Sergio and
make.
Maker Deck and chat and
Oh, hey,
interrupting.
Sergio.
Karen.
Yeah, so if you didn't see it, guys, here's the link again. That's the YouTube video. That's what we were referring to because it's hilarious. You should watch it. It's about a guy in Ireland that died, and before he passed away, he recorded some stuff. And when he was in the ground at the funeral, someone had a remote control to activate it, and it's played back to this thing as if he was knocking on the lid of the coffin to be let out, and he sang a little bit and everything like that. It's really funny. Yeah, those keychains are nice. What did you do? You just a change it there?
Yep, change it. Filament change it. Spec height. Yeah, it came out really nice actually. It's the best one
Yeah.
I've seen for the logo. Is a nice strong one because most of them are quite thin. So that's the real strong one.
Well, yeah, you can always up the Z height of it, right? You can always change the Z height of anyone.
The model itself has got nice wide lettering, so it comes out
Good.
really, really clean. So
Yeah,
no
nice.
problem. So yeah.
You should. I have a question for everybody. What do people think of pellet extruders for home users?
Pellet extruders, as long you need the volume. You need the volume to justify it because they're not cheap.
The pellet extruder system is not cheap. You are correct. And there are companies out there who make pellet extruders, right? They make machines that are designed for industry, and they're pellet extruders. But what do you think? Price aside, and I know that they are expensive machines.
For something like
it's not
large
very
models, like if you're going to do your R2D2, you're looking at 3, 4, 5 kilos worth of pellets per output. They're perfect because there's no issue of running out. You dump in, you load the hopper up with 10 kilos of pellets, and off you go. You're never going to run out.
Well, you can't put 10 kilos into a hopper
issue.
unless you have a drying hopper feeding your main hopper, which you'd have
What you can
to
do,
do.
you can use they do have options for worm screws to do bigger capacities. There are options for bigger capacities, but for something like a large scale, and you're doing
Gonna be a
larger
pain to
models,
do color
fine.
change.
Well, you can do color change in a pellet extruder by adding different colors in there, and they will
Yeah, but
blend
it takes
for a
a while
while and
till it
eventually
ends
come
to
through
the
the
other
extruder, but it
side.
takes a while.
Yeah.
Pour chocolate in it, and then you can lick your models, and they're done.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Well, chocolate ones are actually is a stepper motor with a screw that actually it's got like a big syringe, and it actually puts pressure on it. Yeah, that video is fantastic. It was a great idea. Hey Andrew, how are you?
Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, you can lurk, of course. You're welcome. $7 a kilo if you buy 10 kilos. No.
Oh, filament. I suppose
Yeah,
it's
the
about
price would have to come
filament
down for
rolls,
people to say, okay, I don't want to buy filament. I want pellets. It's cost effective to do this. If the price is high, it's just a gimmicky thing that'll never go anywhere.
Oh, Built Over Bus says, Jerry, that wasn't chocolate.
Yeah.
Make a deck. Don't get a chocolate printer. A lot of them are very difficult to use.
Yeah, well, chocolate. Here's the thing about there's a couple of versions of chocolate printers out there. The secret about a chocolate printer is temperature, and using the right type of chocolate, and maintaining the temperature of the chocolate in that it's like a giant syringe like a basting syringe, and you have to maintain temperature throughout the whole chamber. It has to be heated, and it has to be within 2 or 3 degrees because if it gets
Chocolate peeps for Maker Deck. Chocolate peeps.
yeah, peeps.
You just.
But I've seen chocolate printers that can do really decent jobs, you know. Fecal filament. Of course, Ben. You'd have to come up with that one, wouldn't you? That's funny. No, so but otherwise, what do you think of pellet extruders? Okay.
Yeah, I would like to have one. I mean,
they start at about $5,000.
Wow.
So the chances of getting one for review are slim and none, right?
Yes.
They are more for industrial now, but there's a lot of things that people don't like. I like the idea of a pellet extruder. I like the idea of being able to blend get my own colors. The original 3D printer.
You always can get one of those, and instead of having, let's say, a 3D printer, have like a filament machine. What can
Well, no, a filament machine costs about $60,000.
Oh.
To get a good filament machine, an extruder, is about $50 or $60,000,
Yeah.
and that'll only do one spool at a time. So, Sebastian, you bring up a good question about how do you do retraction with pellets. The answer is you can't. You cannot do retractions on a pellet extruder. So what you have to do in a pellet extruder is you'd have to get your linear advance perfect for that material you're printing. So the idea is the pressure, or sorry, not linear advance, pressure advance would have to be perfect. Because the idea of the pressure advance, you'd build up the pressure in the screw, that's what it's doing, pushing downwards, and eventually you'd have to stop the extruder turning and let the head continue to move while it slowly extrudes out the pressure in the material and then stops at the end of the part. So you'd have to get a super fine tune, and it's going to be harder to do. But you can do
would get uneven paths too, wouldn't you?
Say that again?
But ordinarily, you wouldn't be using it for anything but a large print where it wouldn't be really noticeable.
Yeah, you use it for large prints. You would use it. You'd have to think of, because you can't do retractions and so on, you need, and you can't really do supports on them either. They're not easy to do supports on them. The other downside of it is because supports are often easier to do. You can't do them, or if you do, you're going to have a lot of problems getting them off. You'll probably end up having to cut them off and then sanding the area down. So there is, and the part you're printing, you wouldn't be printing stuff like what we do. The reason why is most pellet printers start with a nozzle of 1 millimeter and then moves upwards from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 millimeter nozzles. They don't do 0.4, 0.2, 0.6 millimeter nozzles. You rarely get them in
high volume and large models. So
yes, and that means you're going to be doing heavier, thicker layers, which means a lot more. What's often done in industry is they use a pellet extruder to print the part. The layers, you can see them a mile away, and then they machine it afterwards to finish it off. In some way, they sandblast it smooth, or they use tumblers to clean it out, like abrasive tumblers, or they put it into a machine and they basically mill it off smooth afterwards. So
full-axis CNC would work quite fine for that as well, I suppose.
Sorry?
Run it through a full-axis CNC.
A CNC would do it? No, you probably use a 5-axis.
Well, it depends on the model.
On the departure printing. But you can print like chairs. You can print a full chair in it, and it'll be a solid part, and you could use it. It'll be a functional part. But
it's just the like I said, it's more you need an industrial application for it more than the home use. That's the only thing. So
yeah, you're correct, Wilbur. If you're printing small stuff, a pellet extruder is not for you. If you're printing large objects, really large, with not an awful lot of detail on them, then a pellet extruder will work for you. If you're doing something with a lot of detail, like if you're doing a big model, and the detail is small, like windows and so on, pellet extruder would probably more than likely not be suitable for that, unless you print all of it solid and then cut the windows out separately or something along those lines.
Fine for panels or engineering parts
or furniture, or in automotive they'd use it for like they'd 3D print an automotive during the development stage. They would do the bumpers, or they'd 3D print housing for
internal paneling,
or paneling and so on, and they're great for that.
But it's not really applicable for home use unless you're doing large farm or something.
There are some out there for home use, but here's the problem with them. The problem with them is the ones for home use, you don't get the throughput. Like a normal throughput for a pellet extruder, for the larger size, a proper full-size pellet extruder is probably 300 millimeters or so, 400 millimeters a minute printing, or per second printing. Because it's oozing out so much material, it has to travel fast.
Looking at kilos per hour of usage,
Oh, you're talking about 10 kilos. Yeah, you could go through 10, for a large part, a pellet extruder could do 10 kilos in an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
With anywhere between probably more like a 3 or a 4 millimeter nozzle. Yeah, you could go through 10 kilos of filament. Now, it is cheaper, but it's about one-fourth the price of filament. But,
you need the application to use it. Yeah.
But there are some people out there who have created pellet extruders for home printers. But I haven't tried any of them, but I can imagine that's a lot of plastic. I agree. And you have to have these bags of film. And if you want to, but the nice thing about a pellet extruder is you can mix your own colors. So you can get the raw clear material, which most filament is clear pellets. And then they add other stuff to it, other colors and whatever, to change the color of it when it's extruded.
And
right?
eventually you'd spill it or drop it or get a hole in it, and everybody's picked up white popcorn. It goes everywhere. It's a nightmare.
It's even worse because you're only talking about like 2 or 3 millimeter pellets. Yeah, they're not very.
You
big.
have to get
This would be like opening
shot back to clean up the mess.
Well, this would be like
rupturing a beanbag.
Yeah, it's like it's either like opening a beanbag or it's like opening a big bag of
Packing peanuts.
No. What's the really small ones? The
big bag of whoop
styrofoam, the small little styrofoam beads.
Yeah.
It's like opening a big
the
bag
beanbag contents. Yeah.
The problem is also once you have it on the floor, you can't put it back in because otherwise you contaminate it.
You cannot. It's already contaminated. So if it spills, you're done. So you'd have to store it in a bin and scoop out what you need, and then and you have to dry it before you use it. Even though it comes sealed, you have to have a drying hopper.
Yeah.
The pellet extruder is a nice way to make your wife throw out your 3D printer.
No, you throw her out because you need the space to store all the bags.
Yeah. She goes first, built over.
Yeah, that's it.
But
maybe build a silo,
priorities.
A silo.
Hey guys,
next to the house.
What they do is they have okay. There's 2 ways of doing pellet extruder. You can manually load a hopper.
Liam.
Yeah.
Vincent has something important to say.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going off to bed. I have to get up early tomorrow, so.
Okay.
See you, Vince.
Have a good rest.
Gotta do some things. Bye, everyone.
Take care of yourself.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks, Jerry.
Well, you're rambling, and I heard him trying to talk, so I interrupted you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I know it's sometimes very hard to get a word in because you really literally have to jump in. I mean, you and Jerry are more powerful boys, and Kieran, he always gets it. He hit always nail on the head. He's always in.
Matt?
Yeah?
We're always talking.
Kieran is frozen.
No, Matt's hand up. I'm watching.
Yeah, but if I'm looking, okay, is Kieran frozen?
Yeah, and
no,
and Jerry too.
Yeah, guys, you're frozen. Kieran dropped out, and Jerry, your video is sketchy again.
Oh, I don't know. Sure. Is it still true?
It's still, and even your audio is blotchy, yeah.
Okay, I'll come back.
That's weird. Okay, well. So yeah, there's a lot of good applications, and there are some out there for home use, but it's not. I think it can be if they can get the technology to match what we can do on a FDM printer. I think it can really have a good application at home because it's cheaper.
Yeah, on the long run.
Now Matt can talk all he wants. I agree with you, brother. So if anyone wants to jump in, there is. Oh, that's the wrong link. That's the YouTube link. We don't want the YouTube link. That was what's in my. There we go. If anyone wants to drop in, there you go. The link is just posted.
I'm always looking for some more minions, to take over the world with me together.
I was going to say delusions of grandeur, but that's probably doesn't even qualify.
Yeah.
So you're not printing lithophanes. Why not, Matt? What happened in the world?
Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to a fair and I'm getting ready, and I have a few things to do around the house, like moving stuff around, building the PC, and I want to do. I bought some blocks, for. One second, Jerry, you're showing us popped in the back in the green room, but there's now your video's back. I was waiting for your video to come up. It wasn't showing at the moment.
Your video having trouble. I had 3 windows open, down to 1. It wasn't loading.
It's still a bit robotic-y.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Odd.
Matt? How is my video? Yeah, that works, Jerry.
Your video is fine. Liam, your
Okay.
video is fine. My video seems to be fine too, but just
Yeah, you're
Jerry.
frozen again, Jerry.
Wow.
Yeah, every now and again it comes and goes. It looks like you're having bandwidth issues.
Okay, well, as soon as this going in the house, I'll pop back in a little.
Sure.
All right.
The fair is just Saturday, Matt. Okay,
Well,
so
I'm gonna get a whole bunch of those. I still have to buy some more.
what are they for?
They're basically connected over Wi-Fi, and I can control the power while I'm out of the house. That's basically switch
If
off
you're
the
going to be
power
away,
on and off.
if you're going to be away for overnight, I would not leave a printer running.
Oh no! I will not be running it while
Miller, how
I'm
are
getting
you?
married or while I'm going to the festival. I mean, to the fair, and it's just for me when I go outside. Let's say shopping and watch my cameras, and then I see something wrong maybe, and I just can switch it off. When it's a field print or something.
Okay, I would recommend instead of just killing power. The problem is if you just kill power, what's going to happen is when your hot end is already hot, you're going to get a clog in your hot end because the fan that cools your heat block is not cooling it, and the heat will creep up in. You get heat creep up into your
Bowden tube.
heat break and maybe into your Bowden. So be careful about just killing power.
Yeah, it's just for emergencies,
Sorry?
It's just for emergencies.
Okay, I understand, but as long as you understand that heat will travel up, and there's a chance of getting a clog really goes up.
Yeah, if it happens, it happens, and
that's a good idea. A Wi-Fi connected smoke detector. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, no, my little airbrush compressor was freezing up on my laser. How is your airbrush compressor freezing your laser? Because we're on the same circuit or something? Well, you're talking about magnetic or interference. Try something. It's going to sound weird. Around your controller box, if it's not a metal controller box on your machine, it's plastic. Wrap it in foil, and make sure the foil is touching the metal frame of the printer, of the laser. Give it a try, because it's EMI, and putting the foil around your main board, like without it touching your main board, because you don't want to short stuff out, but you're wrapping the whole area with it, and it's touching the frame to make sure it's grounded through the frame. That should remove the EMI, or it should deflect it away from interfering with your main board. Just try; it might help.
Would not a chicken Fahrenheit cage work too?
Say that again.
I say it wrong. Fahrenheit cage. It's like a cage, and you put it over for electric magnetic impulse. That's what you're talking about?
Move the laser to because the power thing. You're thinking of what are they called? I can't remember the name right now. I'll remember in a while. Hey, Jano, how are you? How's life? Yeah, making the power dirty causes a problem. Yeah. A Faraday cage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would that work?
That's basically what it does.
Yeah.
The foil would act as a Faraday cage. Yeah. Like your car is a Faraday cage. Your car can get hit with lightning, and it'll blow the engine, it'll blow the circuits, and everything like that. But you will be safe inside the car because it's a Faraday cage to direct the power around the electrical current around you.
And you have 4 rubber tires.
Actually, but the tires are conductive, and they have metal in the tires.
Yes.
Just waiting for Kieran to get back in. Yeah, stay in your car. Car will actually save you from a lightning strike because it is a Faraday cage. They're designed that
my
way.
internet just dropped out, so it's quite strange. Just literally just whoop, let it
Yeah,
go.
and it's probably happened. Something's happened with Jerry as well. He said he's going to, when the laser job is finished, he's going to move back into the house and join from there. So
Yeah, no, it just
hey,
literally
Chris,
took up my
come in
internet.
and Giano, if you want to come in and join us.
Yeah, but Jono, join us.
Come in and join on stream on screen if you wish to. But just make sure you
Make it deck. Join us.
mute your tab for
That'll take some doing. That'll take some doing.
Oh,
Make
it's
it
Liz.
join. It depends. If it's Chris or Liz at the moment, not too sure which one it is at the moment, or a bit of both. 6 of one, half dozen of the other at the moment.
hop in
Oh,
the
no, it's Chris.
So
Everyone disappeared. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, that was it. The way it is. Now my internet went down. It's
and
back
Jerry's
now.
having
It just
problems
dropped
too, it
off.
looks like.
Yeah.
Because he streamed from there before without any issues.
Yeah.
So
It came back and everyone's gone. What did I do? What did I do? Everyone died. Yeah.
yeah. So Chris, you are one the stuff that I was printing last week on MakerDeck. It's Starship. And I added an LED light in here. That light has been on since Saturday morning, and it hasn't gone out yet. It's Wednesday evening already, and it's still running. But LED doesn't use that much power. And then this is the super booster, the super heavy booster. They're looking like now it's going to be 2 months out before they get to launch. It's the FAA giving their launch agreement, the launch permission. So look, it came out really well. I had 4 rockets. I had this. I had the Falcon 9. I had and 2 Saturn V's on display when I was there. One is a Saturn V Lego fully assembled. And the other one was in the staging because I was explaining why the rocket was staged for on the Saturn V's. So it was fun. I assume you all know why it was staged, right?
As in why there's so many stages. Yeah.
Yeah, why they had 3 stages on the Saturn V?
Yeah,
you know why, right, Kieran?
Yeah, because the heavy fucks those astronauts. That's why I get them off the ground.
Say that again?
They're very, very heavy, those astronauts. Get them off the ground.
It's actually the rocket is the heavy part, but yeah.
yeah. Well, once it's empty, it's not, so it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Well, it's about mass, about moving the mass.
Yeah,
you know, when they use, and Von Braun came up with the idea of staging.
Yeah.
Mr. P.
Woo! I made it.
Hello.
Hey, Chris, how's it going, man?
Hey, Kieran, what's going on? Those Star Wars keychains are pretty cool. Now, did you just put the metal in after they were done printing?
Yeah, that's just a normal string. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send you the link. You want the link? I'll give you the link.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I might do them because like what I've been doing in the neighborhood is like I'll print something, right? And like I didn't like how it turned out. I'm like, but I don't want to get, right now I've got like, I think I need to get a toaster oven. We had one at one point, but like we weren't doing anything with it and it was causing problems. But I think I need to get something where I could just melt all the filament down easily. Because I don't know if I want to use the oven anymore.
Give me a
Chris,
second here.
We switched from a regular oven. Well, we still have the regular oven, but we switched to using a toaster oven. We save $100 a month on electricity just by switching to the toaster oven.
Well, we don't use an oven all that often.
Well, we do a lot.
So
we bake a lot of food here.
Yeah, we did.
We bake.
We had a toaster oven, but like it was in the kitchen and it was on the same circuit, and it was a problem more than anything. And so what I would do is probably just get a new one or whatever specifically for melting down the filament. That's it. But this is what I printed today. Like,
ooh, nice.
That gold filament, that gold silk is very, very nice.
It worked very well. Like I was surprised, like how well this turned out. This only took 4 hours. It really didn't take that long to do.
Good detail though for 4-hour print.
Whose print is that one? I don't recognize that one.
I found it on Colts. Let me see if I can.
grab it for you.
No worries. Here's I'll just post in the keychain link. There's the keychain link for you.
Oh, okay. I can't see it on the.
It's in the chat.
see it.
That's a good idea.
Got it. Thank you.
Melted into a round.
Oh yeah, those are a lot of couple of keychains. Stormtrooper keychain is pretty cool.
Yeah, the multi-layer ones. See, that's the best one for strength because some of them I've got are a bit thin. That actually is a nice solid keychain. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get destructive and go and do the other one, which is it may scare the kids off, but this should bring back memories.
Here's
Doom, yeah.
Okay, here's the link. There's the link to C-3PO.
One second. You can post links. Give me a second, Chris.
Oh, sorry.
I'll fix that. Give me a second.
I also post, like, when I find a model, I'll post it. I'll post a link on. I mean, I know everyone's got a Discord, but I post it in the 3D printing models on the Discord MakerDeck Discord.
Okay, you can post.
Yeah,
okay.
More and more people are putting the links now in the Discord information on the MakerDeck info now, which is quite good. So you get the links, the print, the filament. So it's quite good.
It's helpful. Yeah, the gold turned out well. I did this one. I posted this link in the links too, but it's like a print in place, like a flexi, like a little samurai character with a sword.
I've seen that. I've seen that. That models. Yeah.
Printed really fast, like super fast. So I was like, okay, what can I do in this gold that I haven't done before? And then I saw this one. I'm like, oh, okay, that'd be kind of fun. So I'm going to put it next to the dragons because I have yet to print a dragon. I'm the only one who's not printed a dragon.
I have not printed a dragon.
Okay. Then I know I'm not totally. I think there's one other person who's not done it either.
Well, but we know you had to print your benchy and your peep, so we know you went through and did that. So yeah, it'd be fair.
Yeah, I did that, but I told Fixin' Dude, I said, hey, I did this for you.
Well, I was going to print a really big dragon on a large printer I have, and when we sliced it, it took an hour and a half to slice, and it came back saying it was a 48-day print and 8 kilos of filament.
No.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's on my 5x5x6, 500 by 500 by 600 printer. Yeah. To fill that print volume, it took an hour and a half just to slice it in Cura.
Dear God.
Then, 8 kilos or just over 8. So in reality, probably be closer to 9 or 10 kilos because that's always off by a couple of percent. And it said 42 days, but I'm guessing it's going to be more like 45 or 48 days, maybe even 50.
Dear God. Now see, look, 3D printing llama. I'm not going to say I'm like him, but it says no dragons. Cool, but get enough useless crap in the house. Don't need to print more of it. Well, I kind of like the useless crap.
Yeah.
But you know, I haven't done one, and I mean, we've got. I was lucky. Ian Douglas 736 sent me a couple, which was really awesome. He gives away dragons too on his stream. So like when I have a chance to catch, you know, I'd enter. And then Midnight Smith also sent a couple of different dragons with recent boxes. So I'm like, okay. So I don't feel the need to, you know, jump into that as much.
Yeah, print in place though is fun. You can do a lot with it.
Yeah,
it's all about the tolerances, but yeah, like this is print in place. These are all print in place.
Oh, interesting.
And even on the Starship, these were print in place. These grid fins, they're print in place as well.
Yeah, something you just can't get with injection molding is that print in place, which is why
correct.
It's so cool.
Yeah, they have to be put together. Yeah.
Well, I have not done a lithophane in a while. I apologize, Matt. I don't want to infringe on your territory, man. I don't want to be. Wait a minute. You're not Matt.
I have yet to print lithophanes. That's on my list of things on my things to try. Multicolor, TPUs. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I've done it.
It's all little steps.
They're fun to do.
What you want to do? I've been making a whole pile of stuff for a package for my sister-in-law.
For me, it's very rewarding once I finish a print.
I've been doing lately.
I bet, Matt. Yeah, Kieran, you're doing a care package.
Yeah, my sister-in-law is recovering from breast cancer, so I've got a whole pile of stuff for her and her boys. There's a box.
Kieran, where is she based? Is she in Australia or where?
In New Zealand, yeah.
You don't have a resin printer, do you?
No.
Because I have a model.
Stop
that
fondling that, Liam. Put that away because it's so wrong.
Are you? Hey,
Put your
No,
rocket
it's really
away.
in your dirty mind. That's why. Okay.
a big corn dog.
No, I have
Yeah.
a model. I have to get it and send it to you. It is for. It's a Care Bear.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the FU beers.
With the
Yep.
FU cancer.
Yeah, I know
Care
the
Bear.
beer. I've made a few of them. Yep, because I've gone through the same thing. Mine's a blue ribbon. So yeah.
Yeah. So, but you
Yep,
can
I know,
get
I've got
it.
the
But
model.
I did it in
Yep.
resin. They come out fantastic in resin.
Yeah, I've got the model for that one. Yeah.
Personal pleasure device.
Yeah. So Built Over Bot says I printed the dragon for my niece, but it was hard as I hated printing something everyone else has done. It just seems like, I mean, more power to them if they're the printing to sell, but like at some point, like I know some people are making a good run at it, but like unless you can
Now it's bigger.
scale up, like it's got to be impossible.
Well, you saw what happened with Carl Fenton when he did the spiral on the resin printer. The big
Yeah.
six
The
stacks.
stacked one. Yeah.
A very large pile of key rings he ended up with.
Did it break? It didn't make it.
Yeah, I had problems in the end. It had
But
a few
he did
breaks
it
in
3
yeah.
times. He was successful in the 3rd attempt, wasn't he?
Yep, he got it successful. Yep, he did successful. But the first time it failed, and so he got all
Cool.
the kids at school got little flexible key rings out of it, so they didn't go to waste.
Yeah. So I was thinking of actually printing a whole pile of those Care Bears, the FU cancer bears, and giving going to the cancer hospitals in the area, to the wards, and giving them to the staff and tell them to give them out to patients.
Yeah, and just paint the ribbon.
For
to
the
suit,
adult
yeah.
patients, not the kids, the adult patients.
Hey
Well,
guys,
yeah, I'd
I
imagine
don't know
it's an FU bear.
I didn't know
Yeah.
what's going on with my camera, but I think I have to go out this time.
I think
Okay,
this is the opposite. It's the opposite of a lithophane. It's a darkophane.
Just reboot your computer, man, and reboot the computer completely, and then join back in.
Yeah, well,
Man, Miller 3D Design says his daughter's a brain cancer survivor. Oh man, I can't. I don't even. As a parent, I can't fathom going through something
Don't
like
want
that.
to. Yeah, don't want to.
I can't even fathom. Death be not proud.
Be honest, Matt. You saw a giveaway. Yeah,
Matt hasn't been doing too well lately in
That's the right
giveaways.
way.
So yeah, he's losing his tarnish. So yeah.
So yeah, but it was fun. It was good. So I was thinking, actually, I was planning to print a bigger version of the bear, and that way then I might just have it on the shelf behind me. But one of the guys I work with, he's gone through cancer. He's actually free of it now. Or actually, no, they saw it again, but they're treating it again. It reasserted itself. And I sent him one of those bears, and that's on his desk now. That's where it's staying on his desk. Is where he keeps it.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm thinking of printing a whole batch of those and bringing them to the hospitals. The adults might like them, and they can paint them whatever color they want in themselves.
Oh yeah. By the way, Printer Prawn is recommending F-Disk. That's a great way of fixing all your computer problems.
Yep. Well, yeah.
There's a good. Here's a lot of people complain about ads on Twitch, and rightfully so. But if you have a problem with ads on Twitch, the way to block ads on Twitch, it's a keyboard command, Alt F4. Basically, you'll see no ads on Twitch.
Absolutely, makes the ads go away straight away. Yep, guaranteed every time.
No more.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
That's a trick I learned.
Imagine.
I don't. Well,
Sure.
I use Mac, but I mean, for most people, I think are on Windows.
I have both. I use Mac and Windows.
Control
My
W.
new machine that I'm going to be ordering this week is going to be is a Windows
Command
machine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting an i9
Oh, that'll be fast.
workstation, an i9 workstation with 32 gigs of memory.
That for slicing for.
Well, I'll use it for a bit of everything. I'm going to use it for streaming. I'll use it for I'll use it for CAD. I'll use it for a whole pile of different things. So.
I say if you're going with
Just
an
for those
i9.
who are interested, that's the link for the cancer beer. If anyone's interested, there we go.
Oh, thank you.
Well, actually, I spoke with the guy. I chatted with the guy there, and I like the creator of those, and he said he asked me to reach out to him if I needed other designs, that he'd help me out with other designs as well for such things like that.
That is great. Wow.
Yeah, I may do one. I'd have to come up with a concept of a funny one, but one for the blind. So its tummy will be braille. I do a lot of stuff for the blind. So you've seen my
face is only a face a blind person can love. That's why, Liam.
Hang on, Miller's. Oh, come on, man! That's just a way to boost your ad revenue since they have to re-enter the stream. No, I honestly didn't even think that.
I didn't even think about that, but he's right.
randomly display the command every half hour or so to remove ads.
Well, I have been thinking about getting Turbo because I've been using. The problem is now because I like usually just Chris Perillo, right? But I've been using the MakerDeck. Usually when you see MakerDeck, it is me. Apart from in the channel, because there are many people like Kieran has access, Liz has access. So, but off channel, like when I'm logged in, I'm using on my browser. It's just like I don't even think about it anymore. So usually it's me off channel. There's an autism bear. I did not know that. How am I learning of these things?
There's three or four in the collection. Yeah.
Yeah, but they print okay with FDM. They're better as resin prints.
Yeah,
it makes a big difference. But did you ever see the stuff I did for the blind, the tactile astronomy stuff? Did you, Chris?
I don't think I did.
Let me show you one.
And they're really cool.
I got a couple more minutes too.
No.
Hey, you got a new sub transferring over from Prime. Thank you, Miller 3D Designs, for the sub to our favorite Astro printer. Rutro, he's back.
Yeah. So we're talking about I was saying all bad stuff about me behind my back, is it?
Thank you, Miller.
Again.
Thank you, Miller. You got a big nipple.
Yeah. Did you lose Matt? So he came back.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm here, but
this is a start point. This is a start point.
Come on.
And it's a tour of the night sky constellations with arrows and everything like that, so the blind can actually learn the constellations of the night sky.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And there's four of them. Yeah. So there's one per season. So I designed it to use. I do planetarium presentations as well. I'm in a local college. Well, not so local. It's about an hour away from me. But I do presentations there, and as part of that, obviously we can't service the blind because it's all visual. So I decided to come up with this idea so people who are blind can actually have one of these in their lap and follow along with the storyline.
Wow.
That's
incredible, dude.
Yeah, there's four of these, and then as well as that, there is I'm writing scripts for each one that will have two audio cues. They have audio cues. So one will be one person's voice to give instructions about the person for what has to be done from going from constellation to constellation, and then the second one, which would be a totally different voice. Maybe I might do a male-female voice. I will not be doing the female voice, Kieran, but we'll do a male-female voice, and by doing that, they can actually hear the change easier. And one will be the guide talking about the constellations, and the other would be an instructionals. And then my ex-boss, who's no longer he's gone from the company over a year now. He's in Australia, actually. He's in Sydney, and he writes. He's a musician, and he volunteered. He said, "When you have it ready and you have the timings done, let me know." He says, "I'd love to write the audio tracks to go with it."
So that's pretty cool, dude.
It's cool for the blind.
That's amazing.
Play and navigate.
That is spectacular.
Yeah, that was a fun project to do.
Man.
But there are four of them, one for each season.
Well, hats off. I take my hat off, but I gotta be careful.
It's tying two with the things I love, right? Astronomy and 3D printing all in one.
Yeah.
So.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Have you shown Astro Canuck that?
I haven't shown it to Tom yet. No.
I don't think
Tom.
Yeah, I don't think he prints, but he's been very supportive, like
Yeah.
of darn near everything that I've seen him in various channels too.
Yeah, I know Tom.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
because that would be something he'd get an
Yeah.
absolute kick out of.
Well, actually, we've even to some extent, not yet, but we've even talked about, because he's not that super far from me. He's a couple of hours drive.
Oh,
So we're even talking. Like, they're even talking about he's going to be possibly holding some observing astronomy events at his place.
right.
So we may even cross over the border to go up there for that.
Cross the streams. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, actually go up there and observe up there, because his skies are pretty good. So do some imaging up there. And there's another guy in my astronomy club that actually follows Tom also. So
That's cool.
yeah.
I gotta hop out. I got
know
an hour.
your stream starting soon.
It's okay.
Chris. Good luck with
Nice
the
to
show.
see you, Chris.
Good to hang.
Let's
Thank
see ya.
you,
Have a
one
good
and
one.
all, for everybody, and for doing what you do and being awesome.
Oh, by the way, guys, I forgot to say when Chris was on. Maybe he's listening. I'm probably going to be changing. It looks like I will be changing my Hangout day from Wednesday to Tuesdays. There's too many conflicts on a Wednesday, so I was thinking of changing my Hangout days to a Tuesday instead. If any of you are very strongly against that, let me know. But I was thinking of moving it because there
Your
is a lot of
stream, your
conflict.
choice. I'm
Well,
sure
I'd rather
follow you.
do stuff. I understand.
put
I'd
my
rather
foot
do stuff
down, I
that
come
works
here
well
every
with the
week.
group as well. I'm not
How
gonna.
dare you change the day?
Will it stop
How
you
dare
coming, Matt?
No.
No. It's worth a try, right?
Yeah, true. It's not going to change. I said just let people know that you're changing over, but otherwise,
Yeah.
you'll still get people jumping in. I mean, I'm only in because I'm working from home today, with this crap, and
Yes,
I
they
can't
will.
be asked going into the office today.
Yeah, they will let me back in. I'm pretty sure of it. Even with my accent.
Yep.
Is that showing red? 1 second, guys. I see a red light on my camera. 1 second. I want to check this. I don't want it shutting down in the middle of the stream.
We don't mind.
I know you don't care.
I got finally my computer, a new computer I finally got, and got eight cores, 4
So it's an i7.
gigahertz.
Is it 8? Is it 8 cores? Is it an i7 12 gen? Okay.
And you got your laptop. You're saying, Liam, as well.
Well, I had the laptop here, but I am going to be getting a desktop for here. I was going to get a laptop, but desktops are actually faster.
And they're cheaper for bang for your buck, really, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, when you hear the beep, you worry, or you hear the ticking sound. Yeah, I agree with you, Biltover.
I just wait for the flames and smoke. That's a good indication. You start to worry then.
Luckily, I haven't had any yet. Touch wood.
Yeah.
But no, but so I'll probably be ordering it this week, is my guess. And then, so it's going to be it's probably more likely a 9 is what I have my eye on, with 32 gigs of memory. And that should be good enough for what I need. Plenty of.
Yeah, need the RAM for the streaming.
Actually, I may even go 64 gigs of memory. And then if you're going to do it right, okay? So I might do the 64 gigs of memory, and then that should cover all my needs, and that means I can do all of the overlays and so on that we're running right now.
Well, that's the thing, is the overlays that suck the resources for the RAM.
They suck it dry, yeah.
Yeah, it's the RAM more than anything else.
3D Miller 3D Designs, thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Plus you can
true, and you try a couple of powered USB hubs and you're sorted, not like the laptop. So
well, the amount of connections I run, I could run them all off one machine, right, without issues. I know that for a fact. As it is, I'm running it all off a single USB hub. And that's fine, but I can run off the machine.
It's a powered hub, correct?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. It's a 9-port power hub. But going forward, I want to have a better machine anyway, because I want to do more with Fusion, and I want to do a lot more. Like I want to probably put together some videos on using Fusion to slice tool paths for CNCs. Like I've done it, but it's slow. On a fast machine, I could do it way faster and in a really tiny. It'd be snappy, and that's why. I want to do. I'm probably going to do some instruction videos on that. A lot of people wonder how to do so, and the Fusion is free. It's super powerful, and you only use about 8 or 10% of the functionalities in tool padding in a manufacturer feature, but when you like those handful of settings will vary a little bit from design to design, but it does make a difference when you're slicing, and it's good to know how to do that.
Yeah.
So setting up your machine, setting up your tool paths, how to bring import the parts, and do all that kind of stuff with them. It makes a big difference. So I was thinking of doing some stuff along those. Yeah, so that's my goal with my new machine. It'll be here. I'm going to put a shelf under the table back here. And it'll be mounted back. It'll be mounted there. I actually might mount it on this side so I have access to the USB port, maybe. Or I just run the USB port off the USB extender.
Stick the hub to the side of your desk. That's all you need.
That's what I have it right now behind my laptop is where I have it. Plus, with the 12th gen Intel processor, you will almost have to print a mod to your motherboard for heat. What do you mean by doing that? Why would you have to print a mod for your motherboard for heat? Do they have? Well, as long as you have good heating in your machine, they should be fine. Good cooling fans in your machine. Ideally, oversize them, right? I know a guy who made. I had to print a spacer to not warp the. You'll have to show me what you did and why. That's interesting. Because I was thinking of a 12th Gen i9. Now, I must also remember my computer's in the basement, which in winter it's cold because the heat rises. And in summer it's cold because the air conditioning cold falls. So the basement is always cold. I have a 12th Gen i5. Okay, no, I'm looking at the i9 because that has 8 cores with hyperthreading, gives me 16 hyperthreaded cores.
What didn't you like, you piece of crap? Okay, update.
Oh, that's Kieran working. That's how he talks to his computer when he's working.
Yeah. Well, no, it's to the people as well. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, well, you always find some of those,
just
right?
getting some Microsoft updates pushed through from work and they're not happy. So, they can rat's ass.
Oh. Right click, put everything into compatibility mode. Solves about 60% or 70% of the issues.
Not compatibility. It's just got some updates coming through from our software center. Get pushed up.
Well, it will have the stock cooler from. I'm going to get a Dell XPS workstation. They're Dimension machines, not their what's the other ones they have? The Precision, isn't it? No, it's Precision. XPS is Precision.
Yeah, you want Precision. Precision.
It's the workstation.
On the proper Precision. That's what we use. I've got 4 of them, 5 of them in my office in the office at work at the moment. 5 of the damn things.
Yeah, and they don't have any cooling problems.
No, and I run 2 of them with 6 screens on each, and 2 of them with 1 monitor and 2 TVs off each. So my office tends to get quite warm, even in winter. 16 screens and 4 big screen TVs in my office, so that's quite cool.
Okay, you'll have to send me that on built over because I'd have to look into that. I'll have to check out about that if I need it. Even Kieran's, but the XPS is the Precision machines, which are the high end or the more high end boards and everything that they use for engineering. Whereas a lot of people buy the Dell Dimension machines, which are aimed at home users. So, and I used to work for Dell. I know for a fact there's a difference in the main and the boards between them. Completely different board design. Even the thickness of the boards are thicker on the Dimension machines than they are on the Precision machines than they are on the Dimension.
Yeah, the Precisions are oh Jesus, they're a solid brick horse too. They run. Yeah. We have them in the field. We use them in our field machines, and the abuse they get in the field, they just keep chugging.
Yeah, but I used to work. As I said, I used to work for Dell for years in Ireland. It was a long time ago. But I was with their with what was called back then. They don't call it that anymore. It used to be called Dell Plus Engineering. Dell Plus Engineering section that I used to work for. We used to do custom design. Like a customer would come to us and say, "I want to order $1 million worth of hardware, and I want this this application pre-installed. I want the hardware partition in this way. I want this specific hardware added to it to keep it our company standards and so on. All customization." And as part of that, then we design it and we get the parts in and we build the bill. I would be building the bill of materials needed for it, as well as testing it and running it through the process to make sure everything went smooth before we did our shipments to customers. So I used to do that for Dell. Dell boards and stuff are all proprietary parts, though. Well, a processor is a processor. So not the board itself is proprietary because they designed it their own, but like what plugs into it is not.
No.
Like I've added lots of stuff to Dell machines over the years. You can plug on.
They do weird plug crossovers for what goes onto the motherboards for how their pinouts are. Some of their cables are custom cables for their pinouts for the motherboards. So you think you've got a generic cable will not work in some of the Dell motherboards because they do have custom off their SATAs or their
they switch their pinouts.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's easy. That's easy to fix. Just order a cable off them is all you do, and the problem goes away.
Yep.
That costs what, $5, $6, maybe $10. So.
No, that's our company. That's our company provider is Dell. So.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I used to work for Dell for 6 years. No, more.
And even for Joe Blow down home, their home support is great. And generally, you buy something through Dell Direct, their support is very, very good and very reliable. So,
do you know what they're offering right now? If you buy an XPS machine now, they're offering on-site support for a year as part of the machine.
Yep.
Standard.
Nice.
So they'll come. They'll send somebody out to your house to fix your machine for you.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like nobody else offers that right now because Lenovo is a Chinese company now. It's no longer US anymore. Even though they build them here in the States as well, but it's primarily a Chinese company. Here's a file I use to print it. Send it built over. Send it to me by Whisper, please. And I'll post it in here. Lenovo. Well, this is a Lenovo ThinkPad that I'm using right here. That's on the stream. And it's it's fine. It's just low in memory. And I can't really add much more memory to it. So that's why I'm buying a better machine. It's like my Mac that I have for my work Mac. I can't add memory to it because they have the memory built into their board, so you can't add memory. So
built-in obsolescence.
Yes, and I don't like that. And the other reason why I went with a desktop over a laptop, I can repair, upgrade, fix stuff in a desktop. It's really hard to do that in a laptop when all the components are built onto the main board. When stuff is separate and you can add, like if a video board, my video chip dies, I can get another video card, plug it in, and it will take over. You cannot really do that anymore because the PCIe, the PCIe CIA ports are gone on printers nowadays. So there's no way to add that unless you buy a big, like on a Mac, you can buy a big GPU outside that costs about $700, and that plugs in to into the machine to offload it, right? Whereas on a desktop, you can actually pop out memory cards, you can pop out processors. As long as the pinouts for processor is the same, you can upgrade your processor, and then just flash the memory. There's ways around it. Like we used to do stuff like do configuration changes on the memory. On Dell, the Dell has commands called poke and peek. Sounds weird, right? But they use that in manufacturing to make changes to the firmware by command line. So a peek reads a setting, and the poke commands write the setting into memory. It's all command line access. And I used to design. That's some of the stuff I used to be involved with as well, doing stuff like that. So we used to do customized firmware changes and all this kind of stuff via those commands. I think I have the command. They still have the exe files lying around here somewhere, I think. Memory configuration on many laptops they sell now are stupid, like 4 gig solid on 4 gig and yes. I do not like the solid on memory. I'd rather be able to take out all memory and put them in, because you need to have the memory compatible with performance and speed. Otherwise, it will default down to the slowest speed memory chip. And if it's soldered to the board and you put in a higher performance memory chip that will work, it will downgrade the speed because it'll operate at the slowest speed on the bus, which is the built-in one. I'd rather have everything be removable and everything be added in. So like the NVMe hard drives for SSDs, they're great because you can unplug them and put in a new NVMe card, right? But having storage built into the boards, I think, is a way of a company forcing you to buy new hardware, and that's why they do that. And I don't like that. So I want everything changeable. I want to be able to pop out the memory. I want to be able to pop out the CPU. I want to be able to add new graphics cards if needed. If you put in a big one, yes. If a lot of times if you put in a bigger one, it might only see its equivalent on 4 gig rather than seeing, like if you have the 4 gig built in, you added an 8 gig, you may only show you and allow 4 gig be available to you, because that's the way they wrote the firmware. The firmware said they must match, and I don't like those either. So that's why I want everything to be. That's why I'm going with a desktop. I can pipe all the memory off. I can take out an NVMe card. I can take out the hard drive, put in whatever I want, and upgrade it to whatever performance I want going forward. So yeah, so that's what's going to be, and that's why I'm going with the XPS. The XPS, in a lot of businesses, IT want the ability to make changes to hardware, right? And so on the XPS Precision series, Dell generally builds the machines. They can take a lot of memory with a lot of CPU power and can be upgraded. Okay, some might do the added the memory, and some don't. Some require them to be in pairs because they often run parity between the memory. And if you run parity, both chips have to be the same capacity and the same actually model and type for the parity and so on to work in the memory. Like if you're running ECC memory, they have to be the exact same size. You cannot cross them over because of the parity on the ECC chips, memory chips. You can't do that.
I'm going to have to drop off and do some work stuff, Liam.
You have to go do some work stuff.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
That 34-letter word, work, right?
That's the one. So I've got to take N's and K. Yep, that's the one.
All right, man.
I've got to go and sort something out for a client. So nice chatting, peoples, and I will talk to you later.
Pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Liar.
No, I mean that. We give each other crap, and that's fun.
Totally the truth. Totally the truth.
Yep,
Well, if it was about you, Matt, I'd tell the truth. But since I like you.
I like telling the truth. So.
Okay, cheers, people.
See
He walked right into that one. Why not?
Hello and welcome. I'm back.
Now that's way better. I don't know what happened the last time, but it was really. Were you on Wi-Fi in the garage or something?
No, it's hardwired. I don't know.
Well, maybe it went to Wi-Fi for some reason or something, because that was really bad. It was. You were what my video feed used to be like when I had all those overlays running.
Yeah, I don't know. I just logged into OBS and I couldn't get my video to pop up, so I'm changing screens and got my Stream Deck up, and I finally got it working. So I figured I'll come back. Anyway, I got something I want to show you.
Okay, let me put you up full screen. Oh, that's the one you were burning.
Okay, here's the first one I did today. Now, first off, let's talk about the wood. As you can see, that's many 2x4s. And all 2x4s have rounded corners. So a while back, I ripped the corners off of them on my table saw.
Yep.
Then I glued them all together and clamped them overnight, and then I sanded down both sides. I was going to do a 3D carving with this, but it wound up not happening. It's like, hey, I want to print that. I found the file on Etsy that's inlaid. I mean, it's actually engraven. Now, down near the bottom, see that black spot?
Mm-hmm.
I had to. I was at 100% power, my speed was at 2,000, and it was way too slow and way too hot, and I was burning. So I stopped. I reset it, and then I went up to I think 5,000 or 6,000, 80% power, and then it came out really nice. And then I figured, well, I'm going to do the backside too. So I did the backside, and that came out really good. Now what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'll take the torch. I'm going to burn both sides, and then I'm going to take
very lightly, only the edges. Don't burn it where it's engraved.
I'm not going to burn over the picture, just around it. And then I'm going to stain this side blue, and then this side will be stained red. And then I'm going to put hooks on the top so I can hang it from the ceiling. And then depending on where I am in my garage, I'll be looking at this side or that side. And then I'm going to do a video on it for the X tool. But yeah, it burned really nice. Other than my glue down here.
Can I give you one recommendation?
What?
You glued and you clamped those parts together.
Yeah.
Okay. Recommendation: pine warps like nothing you can imagine. A recommendation is when you glue them two together, drive screws through them, one center to the outside, and do that for each one. That way, then the parts will never pull apart, even if the glue dries out.
The glue joint is stronger than the wood; it'll never pull apart.
Oh, I've seen glue come apart.
It's like how I make my flags, or when people make cutting boards, they glue them together, they clamp them really good, they never blow apart.
Okay, I'm just saying. My dad was a carpenter. I've seen pine warp, and when the glue dries, the glue dries out over time. It gets drier and drier and brittle. And
my dad was a carpenter too, and so was my brother, and I worked construction for 35 years.
Okay, all right.
I think it'll be fine.
Sure.
But
I've just seen it happen. Now, it could be you're in a drier climate. It's very different than here. Here it's more humid, so the wood goes through far more.
Depends what. Back in the day, everybody used Elmer's glue, and people don't use that crap anymore unless you're in school. So, anyway. All righty then. We can go back to the little camera and the special with Liam and Matt.
No, we're keeping it right there. So, guys. And that looks really good.
So I got a video for two trees I'm working on. I got a bunch of footage. I got a bunch of stuff I made. And because they've been wanting to do another video, so I'm working on another video. And then I wanted to burn this wood today and be out in the garage. So that's why I need to do some more stuff with X Tools. So anyway, yeah, it came out really good. It's nice and laid. It's a depth to it. If you're blind, you can feel it. Kind of, it's got texture. It's nice.
Nice, very good. Yeah, it looks really clean.
And looking around online, it's very hard to find stuff that you actually want to burn that's different. You can find a lot of stuff for free, but it's real simple to go to Etsy, find somebody selling the picture you want for $2 or $3, $4, and just buy it, and then drop it and burn it. So
yeah. So as I said, I have to upgrade. I still have the Creality one in here in my chamber behind me. I need to do an upgrade to it. So I have a firmware update, and then I'm going to do a bit more work on that. It's a good machine. It works really well. Mm-hmm. Andrew, I have run Dell machines for SolidWorks and Inventor, and they work with higher end video. Yeah, you can add higher end video cards to them, whatever you want if you want to upgrade it. I think it comes with a 3080 video card built into the board.
I prefer to build all my computers, but it gets expensive when you do that.
Well, sometimes it can, yeah, especially when you're adding high-end graphics cards. Yeah. I don't need a super high-end graphics card. I need a machine with a decent graphics card that can take, I think it's a 3080 card that comes in it, which is a good card. It's built into the main board, but it's a 3080 card, and it's or 3080 chip.
Dude, you could have had a Dell. Anyway.
Well, I'm going to.
Remember the commercial back in the day, the surfer dude? Yeah.
You mentioned that a few weeks ago, actually.
I done that at the post office a long time ago. I think I said on here before. Way back when that commercial was popular at the post office, standing in line to get a package. It's real quiet in the room. Everybody's, big old long line of people. Guy goes up and gets a computer or some other brand. I go, dude, you could have had a Dell. And everybody started laughing because it was a popular commercial at the time.
Yeah. Hey, Miller, if you're doing it on a diode laser, I would recommend that you probably use thin layers like or soft material like basswood. Because it does warp, so you have to store it with weighted to keep it flat. But when you cut it and you glue the layers together, they'll stay together because it's really soft and it's easy to cut, and you get a really nice finish out of it. My 5mm basswood that I've been buying lately at Lowe's, they've been warped, a little bit tweaked. God, I hate it. I'm paying $18.99 for a piece that's like
2 foot by 4 foot, and it's, it sucks. And then the stuff you buy on Amazon, even though it's sealed in plastic, it's paper thin, 2 and 3 mil. That stuff, the little squares or the sheets that I got that are 8.5 by 11, they warp really easy.
And so here's the one I use. I like this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's basswood. It's easy to cut. I can cut through it in 2 or 3 passes. And it came out. I did the Michigan logo. Remember? A few weeks ago, I did the Michigan logo in that material, and it cuts really well. So yeah, basswood is really easy to cut. It's a pain to store, especially if you're in a humid environment. You have to store it with weights on it to weigh it down to keep it flat. But for cutting, it's easy to do. Plywood takes a little bit more work. You can do it in ply, but I would say try and keep the ply below 3 millimeters so it cuts easier with maybe 1 or 2 passes, depending on the laser you have.
Yeah, I used Gorilla Tape the other day, and I taped the piece down that was warped to my honeycomb bed.
Yeah,
so I got to keep it flat enough to engrave it.
Either do that or make little pieces that go into the honeycomb bed that you actually can use and clamp the corners down.
That's very dark, but that's a picture of my dad and a cat. Well, back when I was real little.
Sweet.
My dad used to be a carpenter back in the day. He died in 1981. He died at 57 years old, and I am currently 57 years old. So he's got a cigar in his mouth and a ball cap on.
Cool. Yeah, so
took like 8 hours to engrave that.
Yeah, because raster engraving takes time.
Here's a nice picture.
Actually, that's glass, right? Or tile?
Tile.
Oh, okay.
Painted
so
tile.
If you're doing painted glass or tile, you need to have an extractor. And it needs to be a good fume extractor because you do not want to be inhaling the fumes of paint that you're burning off. Like, if you could do it outdoors, like that. Do it outdoors, I would. Like, if I was doing stuff like that, I would probably set it up on my deck if the weather's dry and run it there.
Yeah, I have it in the Congrow tent. Tent works great for switching out.
I have a tent, but I need to increase my throughput on my fan. I need to up that fan a bit more to be a more powerful fan.
Then the D1 will fit in the tent barely, but I prefer just to have the D1 in the garage where it's at, and then I go out there and do jobs. Yeah. The burning 2x4 material, plywood, or not plywood, but anyway, pine, it smokes quite a bit. So I set up a fan on a chair and had it blowing towards the laser to blow it away from it. Then I had the door open or cracked.
Yeah. And actually, on the Creality one, there is a fan right by the head that actually draws the smoke away from the laser head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got this filter and so on. The filter, to me, it's not really usable. But the fan I like because it does keep the smoke away from your laser head, which means it's not going to be it's not going to be sitting around in there and sticking to the lens as often. You clean still, but you clean it less often.
Yeah, I seen Rich put out a video the other day on his great big K80 that he has. It's 80 watt. He put a little, what in the hell was it, little Wi-Fi box type box hub on it so he can go wireless. Then he seems to think that he can put those on all his diodes. Or like me, if you have one, you just move it around depending on which laser you're working on. But I'm not sure how it would work with the laser. He's going to do a video on it. I haven't thought about it yet.
Yeah, I don't need mine to be wireless, and a lot of them now have the option to add a Wi-Fi card to them, so you can go wireless. Like the Z1 has a Wi-Fi card. The R-Tour, I think it doesn't have one, but
don't know if
the R-Tour does.
I don't know how
the Wi-Fi.
I don't know how that works with Lightburn, but
you send it to the IP address. You set it up by IP address. You can do that. And then so a couple of them have either built in or the option to add a Wi-Fi chip to them. So you can always do it that way. My K40, I'm running the stock board on my K40, so I'm using a Raspberry Pi to run it. We're running K40 Whisper on the Raspberry Pi, and it works great for me. I just have to send my FTP, the file I want onto the machine.
Gerbil GRBL board. I always pronounce it. Hey, Matt. I always pronounce it Gerbil, and a lot of people just spell it out GRBL, but I think it's Gerbil. I would say Gerbil.
It is Gerbil. It is. Well, as far as I know, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, do you want to come in and join? If you're available, the link is there. If you want to come in and pop in and say hi. Yeah, but it is called Gerbil. The most of them are Gerbil. Some people use if they're using a 3D printer board in a laser, they'll use SmoothieWare, or there's a version of Gerbil called Gerbil STM32, which will run on an STM32 chip, which again is a 3D printer board. But a lot of people will use SmoothieWare, which is used for if you're using a 3D printer board for laser or CNC control. SmoothieWare is a really nice, easy way of doing it. And you basically flash the board with SmoothieWare. It's not that hard to do. But I like Gerbil because you can modify a lot of the settings without recompiling the firmware. Whereas in some of the others, you have a lot of work to do before you can make changes. So, like limits and so on, you'll have to recompile your firmware. You don't need to do it with Laser Gerbil. So what's next in your list of to-do stuff, Matt and Jerry?
Good, Matt.
Wedding plans. I mean, this Saturday and Sunday I'm going to go to a book fair. We're going to be the only 3D printer. And hopefully I can get some orders in there and sell some stuff what I made. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So, and I thought about to do a limited edition of how many people are going to take on, So only
don't limit yourself, right? Because once word of mouth goes out there, you're going to get busy. The chances are, right? Hopefully. And if that happens, that's what you want, right? Because you wanted to pay for itself.
Matt, if you got 2 webcams, you could possibly log into 2 streams at once and be on 2 live streams at once if you tried. I mean, if more and more people keep streaming, and you might have to jump around, you could probably do multiple streams at once.
You could use multi-stream.
No, I'm saying he could log into multiple Hangouts at once, or
Oh well, you can do that with just different tabs. Yeah, you can do that with just different tabs. Just open each one in an incognito tab is all you have to do.
Yeah.
You're going to fair on Sunday. You will need your own. You will be on your own as the event is only happening on Saturday.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, baby. It was Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
I have a serious question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
Seeing as you don't sleep, how are you going to stay awake through the wedding?
I don't know yet.
It's a valid question. Because you do get tired during the day and you do drift off. You need to try and force yourself into some form of rhythm beforehand that you maintain going forward, because you're on streams until 3 o'clock in the morning our time and your time, and then you'll start again and you're on somebody else's stream at 5 o'clock in the morning, my time and stuff, right? So you're on a lot and then you're streaming a lot, and that's fine.
What I do is the day before, I'm gonna have a rest basically all day long resting.
No, you should be starting that now to get it into your body's cadence.
Yeah, I know, but it does not work. I tried this.
Howdy.
Hey,
guys.
How are you?
Hang on, I'll be right back.
I'm here, so we can talk.
Yeah, but you need your body has a circadian rhythm.
When she comes back, everybody talk, but don't say nothing.
Sorry, that?
When she comes back, everybody talk, move your lips, but don't say nothing.
She's probably listening, so she knows what we're doing. Yeah, but your body has a circadian rhythm for sleep and so on, and you don't have one, and you should try and train yourself into one, because if you don't, hey Solar, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
If you don't train yourself into that, the problem is doing it just resting the day before and doing it once off, it won't apply. It won't help you. You need to build your system into a rhythm. So you don't be on streams till 3 o'clock in the morning. You go to bed at a reasonable hour, and you force yourself to stay there until you get up in the morning, and you repeat those processes over and over. Eventually, your body, I know you have reasons why you don't right now, right? But if you try it, it might at least make it easier on you, you know?
Yeah. I find it easier if I have like before the time I have to go out, that I have a period basically of like 8-10 hours, where basically spend only in bed, and even so I can't sleep, I still stay in bed.
Well, that's resting, and yeah. But if you do that, what will probably happen over time is you'll spend more and more time
I
sleeping.
see Andrew's question there. Did I run it through a planer after I glued and clamped it? No, I don't own a planer. I hit it with a belt sander. It was fairly flat. I got a big flat steel table. I put it on the check see how flat it was. I was going to plane it in my CNC, but it just wound up not happening. So I just took a belt sander to it, and it was good enough for what I'm doing now. But originally, I glued this together for a project on my CNC, and I was going to plane both sides and do a carving on it, but I never did. But if I could afford a planer, I'd get one, but I can't afford it.
You see, Matt, Louise agrees.
Okay.
Louise agrees. You need to start getting into a routine now, because it's weeks away. It takes a long time to get your body into some form of routine. Do you like milk? No? Okay, go to the pharmacy, get melatonin pills, right? Melatonin is what's basically in warm milk. When you heat milk up, you get melatonin, and it actually helps your body sleep. It helps you rest.
Or take a shower before you go to bed.
You give me sometimes sleeping tablets, but I sleepwalk on sleeping tablets.
Well, that's why the milk is the melatonin from it. Like, you can get either milk pills or melatonin, and that will actually help you. Well, that's why the milk is the melatonin from it. Like, you can get milk pills. We can't hear you. And that will actually help you.
Can you hear feedback?
Because she's listening to we know you're just mouthing it because I know you're goofing with us because you heard us say this about you earlier on, right?
Oh,
See, I knew you were because we could hear your twitch in the background. I knew your mic was working.
Hang on.
Mute your Twitch.
Let me get. It's my StreamYard. I need to mute.
No, you mute your Twitch, not your StreamYard.
Can you hear me now? Nope,
Yeah.
I can't hear you guys. So hang on.
Well, now
Let me
we're talking.
unmute this one.
Yeah. So you need to mute the StreamYard one.
I got it.
Or not the Twitch one. Yeah. Oh, it's prescription only. Then some places they have what you can get as milk pills or something like that. But that's a more natural way instead of taking sleeping pills because sleeping pills are not that good. Melatonin actually comes from milk. And,
drink a glass of wine, a beer, take a shower before you go to bed. There's a lot of things that will help. Don't eat right before you go to try to lay down and go to sleep.
Well, if all else fails, Louise, right? Go to the hardware store, get a mallet, smack him on the back of the head, and he'll sleep for a while after that. Is that right? You look very serious, Jimmy.
That's because I'm looking at what I've got muted.
I bet that shirt says Stranger Things on it, don't it? Yep. Okay.
That's a great show.
I love the show. So let me look here. Somebody talk.
Turkey.
Hello and welcome to 3D HP. My name is Jerry.
Now I've got when I have the Twitch muted, there's a lag.
Twitch always lags. Don't even watch that screen. I just watch chat on the Twitch. I don't have it up now, but that's all I'd watch. Just watch chat and listen to everybody in StreamYard.
Okay. Yeah. I'm good now.
Cool. So so you should drinking warm milk is good. Or the mallet, if all else fails, Louise, get a mallet for him, smack him upside the head.
Oh, Jerry,
that's lovely,
that's
Jerry.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sweet.
What'd you burn it with?
My X-Tool D110 watt.
Oh,
I'm gonna take a torch to it tomorrow morning. I'm gonna lightly burn the whole thing.
One of those.
And then I'll do this side in red for blood. I'm gonna stain this side red. After I torch it, I'm gonna do this side blue. Then I'm gonna put eye hooks in the top of it and get some chain then I'll hang it in the garage.
Yeah.
Trim both sides of it down first on your saw.
What?
Trim both sides of it down on the saw so to make it even.
Yeah, it's fine. It's gonna be a little bit off. It's fine.
Okay.
If I would have planned it out, I would have left either side. I would have staggered them and left it look like it was more ripped out of something, like a chunk of wood or something.
I just saw you, Louise. Yes, one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, I used to love this show.
Season 4 will be soon.
I didn't know they were doing another season, are they?
Yep, it'll be the last one. But yep,
it's weird watching a show that's all kids, but the storyline was good, and it's
yeah,
supernatural type of style things. That's why I actually got into it because my son wants to watch it, and but it's a good show. I liked it. He did go a bit weird, but okay.
yeah. Look at my Fred Flintstone. Oh, hang on.
Yabba dabba doo.
Let me turn my light down a little bit.
Yabba dabba doo. Oh, nice.
Nice, very good.
He pushes a cart. I don't have the wheels on it yet, and then Dino is eating the grass.
Is that David Chambers'
His lawnmower?
Like a lawnmower. Yeah, it's David Chambers.
Cool.
And then printed Bingo and Bluey. Sorry about my finger. I burned it in the oven a while ago. But yeah, aren't they so cute?
Yep, nice.
My granddaughter, it's her favorite show. So I will be.
What happened? You forget to get a pot holder? You're in a hurry and you grab something out of the oven?
I did. I was cooking French fries in the oven, or chips for Liam and Matt. And when I reached in to get the pan out, my pot holder folded, hit the side of the pan and folded. So I grabbed the pan with my finger.
Hey Thomas, how are you?
Maker Viking, did you see what I just held up?
Show him the Viking part.
We might have already seen it. Some people lurk before they chat.
Yeah.
Lurker, lurker, lurker.
So the so I'm waiting on a resin printer. I know there's a new resin is supposed to be coming my way. It's not a really big resin. But it's I think it's a 4K, I believe. Hey Louise.
Hi, Louise.
She can't hear you.
She can't.
Oh, she can't.
That's why we waved.
Yeah, but I have another resin on its way.
Cool.
It's the one that actually has the heating chamber that heats the resin.
Night.
Night, Louise. So there's I was told they had a handful of machines they were sending out to reviewers, not many, and they selected a few people, and I was told I was one of the people that was selected.
Cool.
So, and this one actually can heat the resin and keep the resin at the right temperature needed for printing.
Nice.
As you print. Now, I don't know how cold it can get for it to work. Everything's going well, Thomas. Been busy. The BIQ Pixel L. Okay. I have no BIQ products whatsoever.
I've heard of the BIQ. I don't know anything. I don't know much about them.
I know they're FDM machines. I don't have any, but I know them. I have, but yeah, I've never had any. I've never reviewed any, or tested or anything of any of their
Big
machines.
Tree Tech. It's all the same company, right?
No.
Okay.
They're separate companies, I believe. They're not BTT at all.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Fine. I just gave you a bone.
Okay. It has a heating function and an automatic refill. Okay, the automatic refills. I've seen a couple of other machines that have those, and they can be
Amanda.
Hey, Amanda, long time. And they can be painful to deal with because if you have the wrong type of light in the room, it can actually cure it in the fill vat, in the fill pipe tube, and it'll cure and actually block the whole system up. So,
Well, the smart ones have a black tube.
But it is still on the opening on either side. If light hits them, it can actually make it go solid in the tube. So there are issues with it.
And the cover would always cover that area. But the only autofill I ever seen that looked proper, the whole autofill is built into the cap. You screw on this other cap, turn it upside down. There's no hoses to screw with. It all comes out of the cap.
That's a good idea. Having a system where you can actually put the bottle up onto it.
Yeah.
Flip the bottle upside down so it sits in the back, and then you just basically turn the knob to open up a chamber to allow flow, and then leave it stop there. That's the best way.
If you go to your fill line, start your print, and then overnight. But if you're a heavy sleeper, it is feasible that you could oversleep and adding resin. So
that can always happen. And the other issue is about the autofillers. You may not be able to see how much resin is left, so you don't know when to top it up.
My whole thing with these autofill things, printers, is say you finish a print and leave it to hang. I always leave mine to drip. If you come back in 5 hours, that resin has already in the vat has already started to separate. So it's doing that in the bottle. If that bottle is staying stationary and you've got an autofill pulling it from the bottom or pulling it from the top or wherever it's pulling it from, after 5 or 6 hours, that resin is separating in the bottle.
I've never had that happen, only after days and days. If I let the resin sit for a week and I come back, I'll stir it up the spatula, dump more in. But
I've seen it happen overnight. I haven't seen it happen in the space of one day, like in a couple of hours, but I've seen it happen overnight for sure.
Some resins
whereas you have a lot more in the bottom, and you have to store it up the next day.
Like this information resin, the apricot color. It's called skin, but it's more of an apricot color.
That's
it was not very long at all, and the color was separating.
It could be the weight of the pigment in that material, because pigments have weight, and if they're heavier, they will settle faster and they won't stay suspended.
Yeah.
It can be. Printing with resin is temperature dependent. If your resin is cold and it gets thick, and if it's too hot, it gets too watery, and it doesn't cure very well. And printing in a cold environment, resin you'll get failure after failure after failure. So it needs to be fairly warm, over 24 degrees centigrade. They say above 20, ideally 24, up to 26, 28. I've done printing in a machine that was actually around 30 degrees because I did it in the garage, and it failed because the resin was too watery to cure properly. So there's a sweet spot for resin.
I guess I don't know. Maybe more people than me are printing solid models. I print. There's a lot of. I do 14-hour prints and never have to refill the vat.
Well, solid if you're doing really small models, they should be solid. When you're doing the size of the item that you're doing, hollowing them out makes sense, because that's an awful lot of material, and you only want 3 or 4 millimeter walls, and you're done, right?
Right.
And you might even add support on the inside it to make it stronger if you want to on the inside of the part. Sometimes. If
you have a bank account that you never have to check the balance and everything is on auto pay and you don't worry about anything in your life, make everything solid.
Yeah.
And then, if you're,
I always follow before I support. So all of my prints have supports inside. I don't care.
So Mighty Bean, they do not make extra deep vats for less frequent filling, because the problem is, even if you fill it, it's deeper. The problem is the mechanism that actually lifts and raises the build plate needs to have the clearance over the side of the vat to touch the screen, to get near the screen for the layers. And if it can't get in there, if the vat's too deep, that'll stop that mechanism coming down. So they have to have clearances around there, so they don't make extra vats. Now, but really large resin printers, you could put a whole liter of resin into it, and that's just enough to do it to start printing with, right? A half liter will barely coat the bottom in the really big printers.
When I done all those minis, I didn't show in the video, which I should have, but I just barely had enough resin covering that vat, but that's how close I ran it. And I've never ran any prints that close. I start getting whatever other brand I got, because I don't want the print to fail to get to the very last little bit.
Well, we got a raid.
Miller.
We got raided. Thank you, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus.
Miller Design.
Welcome, Raiders.
We're talking about resin printers right now, and our experiences with them, and answer some questions. So, welcome, Raiders. Thank you all.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We're a bit like Marcus does a lot about scanning and so on his channel, and some from printing. We do a lot of printing, and we talk about as well as the 3D printing and CNC and lasers. We also get into other stuff. And Marcus, thank you for the subscription again. The 4 months. Thank you so much. But we also do we also get into other stuff, like I said, CNC, lasers, and we're also, some of us are nerds, me, and we get into sciencey stuff too.
I would say most of us are nerds.
Yeah, I'm a nerd and I'm proud. So look at my starship. You never saw my starship. Look at this.
That's awesome.
I put an LED light in it.
Yeah.
And that goes on the super heavy booster. So they join together. Make a single piece.
Very cool.
It looks really good. Like in the bright lights here, you don't really see the red glow. You can just about see the red glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Team Unicorn. Yeah, I'm a geek too. Oh, yeah. I agree. I'm a nerd and I'm proud.
Address Miller 3D Designs. The insides don't fully cure on bigger prints. They do with that. I use a UV light, and this my brain just went stupid.
It's a 450 nanometer UV light on a long piece of cable that you flush it out with a string.
It's not a cable. It's a
was it a string?
Fiber optic. It's a fiber optic cable, and this shines super bright. So I run it up through my holes that I've hollowed my prints.
How many millimeter holes do you have to make for that?
This is 3 millimeter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to go, my homemade one, I got to go with a 5 millimeter hole to make sure it fits, 4 or 5, it fits in there. And a long time ago, you were going to send me a link, and you never did on that, because I wanted to get something that was longer and smaller.
Jerry, I'm sorry. I will do that. I will do that just as soon as we're done.
Well, if you want to share on stream, do so, and like if you have the link available to you, because like I would like one of those too, because I like the idea of the fiber optic.
You can get it multiple sizes. You can get them all the way down to like super tiny, but I've got the 3 millimeter because most of my holes are like 4 millimeter holes.
Yeah.
So let me.
You should always give it. If it's 3 millimeter, you should give yourself a little bit of clearance. So go to 4 millimeters at least.
Here's the homemade one that I made.
Oh, so you're using a full size diode on that there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
get diodes that are super small.
And I don't always use this on the inside of my prints, but whenever possible, I do. And when I can't get them in there, then I rinse them really super good, blow them out with my air compressor to dry them out 100% inside before I cure them. Hey, Dum Dum.
Yeah. So yeah, that UV light is a great idea and so if you huddle them out, turn it on stick it inside for 6 minutes, all as deep as it'll go. Back it out about halfway, do another 6 minutes or whatever, make sure it's fully cured inside, and then you should be good. Hey, Tim. How are you?
3 or 4 minutes, just kind of moving around wherever, and then when I cure them, I usually cure them on one side for 8 to 10 minutes, and then I always turn them over in my cure station because the reflection will never, ever 100% get to the bottom. And then if they're too big to cure in a curing station, take them outside, throw them in the sun for 5-10 minutes per side.
Yeah. I use... where do I have it? I had it here today. Yeah. If I want to use the sun, this is solar, so I can actually put them on this and stick it outside during the summer, and this will it'll rotate it for you to get even curing and so on.
I forget the wavelength of the UV light that I'm using. Hey,
400 fish. It needs to be 405 nanometer.
That's what I was thinking. 405.
Yeah, 450 is what the blue light lasers are. They're 450 nanometers. But the UV light they do between 380 and 405. In that bracket, you should be good. Hey Tim, how are you?
Hey, how goes?
How's life?
Good, very good.
When is your Maker Faire coming up?
UV flashlight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this weekend.
Oh, it's this coming weekend. Okay.
Yeah. So
are you ready?
I'm pretty much ready. I've got not going to have as many models printed to hand out as I thought, but I'm going to print stuff while I'm there, and so I did some pretty funky new cards today for myself. So This is the front of them here.
Well, let me go full screen so people can see.
So that's the front, and it scans the QR code right to my YouTube. And then on the back, and then this is the back.
How you done?
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I tend to hurt my.
You print those and cut them, or do you get them as they're printed on the panel that pop out?
No, we print these, and then we have actually a slitter that takes a 20 up 12 by 18 sheet, slits them down to this size.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a business card slitter, it's called.
Yeah, because you can buy them like as a template from Avery, and you can print them out. And all you do is they're already scored, and you just pop apart.
Yeah, no, we do business cards galore. Like we do probably 30 orders of business cards a week. So we have a slitter and we slit them down from full sheets. So
it's probably much faster than anything else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can turn out 250 business cards in 5 minutes. So
okay,
yeah, as long as the artwork is all ready.
Sweet. So what are you up to, John?
Nothing. What do you got?
Did you ever get your Delta working?
Yeah,
I did, and then now I'm having issues again. I got it to print a couple good prints, and I don't know what's going on with that thing.
What's happening now? The same issue again?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like switching like areas that it's not sticking. I don't know what's going on.
Do you have other printers that work fine for you?
Yeah, I got like 9.
Okay. So I just want to narrow down the operator error thing. But yeah, if you got other printers,
it's probably me.
I mean, don't laugh, Liam. It could be true if that's his first one.
I'm laughing at the way you said it. But yeah, no, you are correct. We all go through the I/O problems, right? The idiot operator issues. We all have those I/O issues.
It's the first Delta printer I've ever had, so it could be that.
I was printing on one of my machines, and at one point, and it kept printing everything to one corner. Hey, local maker, how are you? And every single time I print, I go in and I re-slice it, and they come out, and I print in one corner, and I couldn't figure out why. Guess what it was? I had the wrong printer selected in my slicer.
Oh.
It thought it was on a smaller bed. It kept printing a big print all in one corner. It was going off the bed on one side. So I could get it right, and I had the wrong printer selected. Hey, Papa Bear, how are you, sir? If you want to come in and join the conversation, guys, you're welcome to come on stream.
Chat on.
There is the link.
Hey, Papa Bear.
There we go.
Papa Bear's probably working. I'm guessing right now. He works the evening shift.
There's one more thing I could try. It's got like these curvature things in there. I don't know if you know. Anybody have a Delta where it's got
but mine doesn't have the problems you're experiencing. So
it's got like a button where you can press where it changes the Z just in the middle versus the outside. It'll raise it or lower it
because of the concave or convex glass.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I don't, I put the other day. Jerry told me to put the straight edge on it. And I did that again, and it actually looks different than it did that time. It looked like that time, like the middle was dipped. Now it looks like the middle is bowed up. So I don't know what the hell.
Weird.
Was it a cold bed versus a heated bed? It might have affected it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried the heated and cold. It's the same now, either one. So I don't know. Maybe I did it wrong that day. I don't know. What the hell? I'll figure it out eventually.
Peb cap is always a problem. The problem's always between the keyboard and the chair.
Yeah. Between these two right here.
Yeah. That's a 1D 10T issue. All right? You know what that one is? Write down 1D 10T on the piece of paper.
Yeah, that knife that I engraved will go
I just got it.
Yeah, it's a 1D.
It says your journey is over on the knife I engraved.
You should do a version of that, Jerry, that says...
oh, nice. Was that a knife you had under it? No.
Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, I engraved that on the atom stack.
Nice.
I put your journey is over on it.
Oh, nice.
So if this was ever, well, anyway, I'm not going to go into detail. I think you can kind of figure it out why it says your journey is over.
But is that not from a show or a series?
Yeah, there was a series I seen a while back. I can't remember what it was. Chad, help me. And as the different soldiers in it left the Earth, they would say your journey is over.
Your journey is over. Yes. What was that? Oh,
and that's why I put that on the knife.
Cool. No, that's So Tim's off for Maker Faire. Jamie is busy printing. John is not so busy printing. He's more busy troubleshooting.
Jamie's actually busy painting, but I can't show it off.
Oh, okay. Not till it's done, right?
She's not released yet. So
yeah.
As soon as Mega releases her, then you will see her.
I should start next month with the Toys for Tots, so I should be starting getting really busy with that next month. I want to do some changes to my printers in the meantime, and I need to get that belt printer. I've been so lackadaisical about that belt printer. I need to get it finished and printing. I have the firmware compiled. I just didn't write it to the SD card, plug it in, and flash it with the new one, and then go ahead and test it. I need to set the E steps for the Y axis, but I know how to do that. That's just a little bit of calculation to do that. But I've just been lazy. I'm admitting it. I've been busy with so many other things. I've been lazy about getting that one done. But I need to do it now because Toys for Tots is coming, and I want to have it done before then because I want to be able to start churning out. If I can get it printing properly, I will hopefully be able to use it for Toys for Tots.
Nice.
And I got to get back to working on it. I haven't yet.
This is your E3 you turned into a belt printer?
Yeah, the Ender 3, yeah.
Mine's still sitting on the floor. I've been working on all these other lasers. I got to get back to working on it.
Oh, is that Jamie? Was that the link to the diode laser? The diode
to the fiber optic.
Fiber optic light? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So there you go, guys.
There's more on there. Just that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll give you an idea. Thank
everybody.
Did you ever see the Ender that has the tilted bed, and they've got, I don't know, it's kind of expensive, but they sell this like bracket made out of extrusions and a different surface for the bed, and you got code that G-code that lets it cool down and then kicks it off into a box instead of a belt printer.
Isn't that but Autodrop does that, isn't it?
Who?
Mike, Autodrop 3D does that. They have a system.
There's another one.
There's other printers that are on a belt, and they just run off when they get there.
No, there's no belt in this. He said it's a tilted bed. That sounds like Autodrop.
I've seen that on a Prusa printer. They use a Prusa printer, and the head hits a print and knocks it off.
Yeah, well, I've seen those. That's G-code, and there's another one with there's a tilted bed that it actually does knock it off in the same manner. And then there is the Autodrop 3D have a mechanism that they've copy protection on, and it's basically an ejection system for a bed. So they have a system as well for that actually it's like a blade that runs along the bed and knocks the part off. I just found sand in the bag. I keep my sea sponges in. Makes sense.
Sea sponges.
You think that's better than the belt? Because the belt has to print pretty slow, right? A belt.
Well, okay. Yes, a belt printer prints slow because every layer is a first layer until you leave the bed. Till you're no longer putting surfaces on the bed anymore. And there's other pros and cons. The disadvantages to it are you have to really think about how you're orientating your parts because not every part is suitable to be printed on the belt printer because of the way it starts printing at 45 degrees, right? There are belt printers that are 90-degree belt printers, whereas the bed moves forward and backwards like a normal printer, and there's only one first layer, and then it prints all the rest the same. And so you're actually leaving the bed after layer one.
Oh, your word is right. Your word is right, Liam. I couldn't think of it the other day. Remember, my son was talking about my videos. Sometimes I go, or I say this or say that repeatedly. Yeah. Your word is right. You'll say something, you go right, as you want people to agree with your statement.
And I use as well.
Right? Yeah.
I use as well, and I use and I use all of them. If you can think of a pause word, I probably use it.
I keep saying or.
And you don't realize you're doing it. I never thought that I have a bad habit of leaving space in a sentence. I leave a space and I say a lot, but you don't ever realize that you're doing it until you start editing videos.
And then every 10 seconds it's cut, 10 seconds cut, 10 seconds cut.
Yeah, it's literally that.
Well, I do a lot of video recordings for work, an awful lot of video recording for work, because in my job, see, there I go again. In my job, when we have a new product that's coming out, or a new version of a product, there's new functionality in there, I have to create videos to explain to our sales guys how the function works and how to use it, so they learn how to use it, so they can demo it to customers. And doing so requires me to do a lot of ums and ahs. And now, depends on what I'm talking about, though. If I'm talking about certain topics, I can run from beginning to end through it, no problem, without any pause words anywhere along the line. And then other times, if I have to think about what I say as I go along, that's when all the ums and ahs come into play. So if I'm ever doing a presentation for people, I do the ums and ahs. So to prevent that, I rehearse it about 20 times over and over and over again, exactly what I'm going to say, using the bullet words. I might embellish some of it a little bit, but I just run through it multiple times. So then when I go on to do a presentation in front of a live, like an audience of 300 people at an event, I have rehearsed it enough so I don't have to think about it. It just flows. That's how you get out of it, is rehearsing. I'm not a script reader. When it comes to me doing stuff, I need bullet points, and I'll talk to each bullet point in my own way. I'll put my own words to it, but that's my hint of what I need to say. And I do no more than that, because I know some people who are really good at reading a script from beginning to end, and a lot of the guys who do streaming out there do read a script. Don't be any illusion it's all ad hoc, right? A lot of it is rehearsed and scripted, unless we're on a live stream. But
anybody can be a professional if you're scripted, and you're reading a lot of technical data. You have to read it off something, otherwise you're going to keep looking down at your paper.
You have to read it from something, but it can be bullet points, not scripts, and one line for line script. So I work better by a bullet point, and I know what I have to say about that bullet point, and I'll talk to it.
The nightly news, every one of those people on any channel, they're reading the camera. Every single word.
Yep.
Everything comes out of their mouth.
Every one of them are scripted. Yeah. Hey, Marcus.
Hey, how you doing?
Howdy.
How's life treating you?
Hey, Marcus.
Good.
Hey, Marcus.
I'm still not used to you with short hair. I'm sorry.
This is short.
It was short compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm not used to you with short hair.
Brian Vines has surpassed me now.
Yeah, Brian is getting longer and longer and longer.
And I look at his hair and I don't regret it, because you see now he's got it in a ponytail because it just gets in the way.
Oh, he's not wearing a man bun, is he?
No, a ponytail, but not a man bun.
Oh, if he was going to be wearing a man bun, I'd make fun of him over that one.
Yep, I'm happy with my current length.
I wish I could wear a man bun, even though I wouldn't.
Well, you know what you should do? Whatever you cut off, chip it to John.
Yeah. I just glue it on. I'll 3D print a little skin so I can stick each individual hair into it.
Plugs.
It's long enough where I can tuck behind my ear, like if I need to lean over. But
yeah. The last time I was I think it was 19 or 20 years old, the last time I had long hair. And I have to say, it drove me insane having it long. I had it long for a reason, and it drove me insane. I hated it, and I had a beard, and I hated it. I'm not comfortable with them. My face, I think it's itchy from them in the summer, and so I don't like it. Personally, they don't work for me. Some people really like beards and long hair.
I look better with a short beard, but it's white. It's the only problem. I'm not going to dye it. So.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting gray hair.
For men.
You're all getting gray hair more than me.
Yeah, we know all you color your hair in.
Nope, not one bit.
Sure.
What you see is what you get, man.
What were you saying, Jamie, about the gray hair?
I said, get you some of that just for men. 5 minutes and the gray is gone.
No,
Really?
I'm gonna
Whatever working here.
I'm gonna grow old
It's
and
for
gray.
beards. I mean, they have some that's for hair, but
Yeah.
they also have some that's for beards, and you just comb it in, and in 5 minutes your color is back.
Is it
That's
convincing?
where my brown hair is starting to go gray.
Yeah, actually it is. I use it for my eyebrows.
All right.
Oh wow!
Well, you know what? Everybody says you should grow old gracefully. You know what? I'm going to grow old disgracefully.
No. I'm going to go down kicking and screaming.
Oh, I'm going to go there disgracefully, not gracefully. I'm not going to die, and I haven't needed to yet. All right, I'm in my early 50s. I haven't needed to die yet, and I probably never will. I'm just saying.
I thought you were saying I haven't had a need to die.
No, no, dye my hair. But
Hey, Jerry, there's
I
always
don't
the
have
comb-over
that
you
much
could do.
gray anyway. I have a little bit,
comb-over.
a small little bit creeping in here and there. But like my dad didn't go gray until his late 60s. Till his mid to late 60s, he started turning gray. And he never lost his hair. Like my dad died in his mid 70s and he had a full head of hair. So
my brother wears a hat like it's underwear. I mean, you'll never catch him with a hat off. And if it's off, he'll hurry up and put it on. He's like afraid to show my brother. He's like afraid to show his head. I don't know. I think he doesn't come over.
Just get some skull wax and buff it, right?
Yeah. I enjoy being bald. I mean, if I let it grow in, I'll have hair all the way around, and this will all be pretty much nothing. So I'd rather shave it. So once a week, I shave it.
I'm partial to bald. My husband is bald. My ex-husband is bald. And I don't know. Lots of women like bald men.
Yeah.
I still have mine. There's no history of losing it in my family. Actually, there's one. My mom's oldest brother. He lost his hair.
And they say baldness runs on the mother's side of the family.
Yeah, but he was the only one in the whole side of my mom's family that had it. All the rest of them had full heads of hair. So
that might have been a issue, like a what's it called now? Alopecia.
For him, for a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But alopecia mostly affects women than men. Way more. About 99%, or 95% is women. But it's possible. Yeah, it could be.
There's all kinds of, a mineral deficiency or whatever can cause it. If he had surgeries,
no. But it could have been
a lot
series of things.
Since I had all those surgeries.
There was a British swimmer. I think it's Simon Goodyew, his name was. But he actually was in a swimming pool and he bumped his head and it damaged a nerve in his head when he was swimming, practice swimming. And he lost all the hair in his whole body. Never ever go back. The whole follicles and all died and fell out. Yeah, because he hit that one with some nerve that triggered his whole system for his body to drop all the hair in his whole body.
Holy cow!
100%. Yeah, about I think it was within weeks of it happening, he started losing his hair, and they realized what it was, and they said, "Well, that's what you're going to be." And I mean, not just his head; he lost all body hair, everything.
Wow.
100%.
Well, if he was a swimmer, that's
there's a benefit.
probably good.
He didn't need to wear a cap to swim, right? But, yeah, but
don't
he did.
they
He lost
don't they
all
shave
of it.
like their leg hair and everything just to
save money
help
on razor?
Yeah, I think it was Simon. I think it was Goodyew. His name was. I remember him when I was younger. When I was living in Ireland, he was on TV, and my dad explained what happened. As I said, he was a British swimmer, not Irish, but being country side by side, we basically share the same news. We have our own news stations, but the news is kind of all one, the same content on all channels, pretty much. But it was an interesting, actually. He bumped in the head in the swimming pool. He bumped his head. Instead of putting up his hand at the end of a swim, he was gliding through it, which you're supposed to when you're swimming, but he didn't put up his hand up and he bumped his head off the wall of the pool. Wasn't a bad bump either. But
interesting.
Yeah, but all the hair in his whole body was lost. Everything.
Wow.
So
we have our second GK1 coming.
You got a second GK1?
Yep.
You like it that much?
Well, it's not for me. It's for my husband. He has started printing model car parts, and I gave him my Mono SE, and then he bought another Mono SE, and something was wrong. It was damaged in shipping or something, but it was making some weird, crazy noise just right out of the box. And so I said, nah, send it back. We're not going to fight this thing. And so we decided to get another GK1.
Is that resin? What is it?
The GK1?
Yeah.
It's from what we call Uniformation. It's a Uniformation GK1. It's a big printer.
A very large printer.
Yeah, GK1. ONE, not the number one. So there it is on the left side there.
It's resin though?
Yeah, it's resin.
Yeah, it's a 5K resolution 10.1 inch vat.
Oh wow!
And screen. It's a big vat. It's really. I like it. I don't print an awful lot of resin, but out of the box, it just works. I never had to level it. Did you have to level yours?
You don't level the build plate ever. It just
they have a process to level it, but you probably don't have to do it.
It just prints out of the box. You plug in the USB and go.
I wouldn't mind having that on my resin. Just one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah, it's.
This is its vat.
Oh wow, that's big.
It's big.
I can print my head.
I can print my head.
It is big.
I printed. Hang on.
But it's huge, and it's a real GKONE from Uniformation. That's UNIFORMATION. And you can get them on Amazon.
This is the Moon Knight model that I'm doing, and I did this all in. This is huge, big as my head almost.
Do you have an Anycubic Photon Mono X, Jamie?
Yeah, the 6K. I had a Mono X regular one, but I sold it last weekend because I don't have room for all these.
Do you have a bigger vat on any of your printers than Anycubic Photon Mono X?
Yeah, both the Creality Hallet Light and the GK1 have.
That's bigger.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice printer.
The Hallet Light is, I would say, as far as plug it in and print, is right next to the GK1, but I want to say the build plate size is the same length and width, but maybe like 10 millimeters taller than the Mono X.
Mm-hmm.
But the vat is deeper, I guess, because of that height difference.
Yeah, and they use ball screw on their Z. They're not using and with linear rails, with a linear guide on it. Their machine is run. It's actually Android operating system is what they run on.
Yeah, and it has RAM, so you can Wi-Fi a model to it, and it. I guess installs the file. So, or you can take the USB out of it after it imports the file. So it has memory.
Yeah, when you go to print the file and you stick in the USB and you pick the file, it copies it off the USB stick and copies it locally into the memory of the printer, and that's where it prints from. So you don't need to leave the SD card in there once you select the file to print.
And the Hallet Light is the only one of these printers that I have found that will actually print Wi-Fi. The rest of them, they say they have Wi-Fi, but it's crap.
Yeah. But yeah, so as I said, it's Android based firmware on it. That's what it runs on. So I like the GK1.
This is the build plate for the GK1.
Yeah. It's a big build plate.
It's big. I don't really care for the holes.
Yeah, I've never had them with holes, but I've heard a lot of things about them.
It sticks great, and
getting the part off it is a pain.
I can't think of. Well, no, the getting the parts off is not the problem. When I print something small, it goes into the holes, so you have to clean out holes before you can print again, or you're gonna have a mess because you got stuff floating in your liquid.
Well, but the bigger there are some resin printers out there that are really big, and it's the reason why they're starting to add holes to the larger printers is because of the weight of the parts hanging off it. If you do a solid part and it's on a big print build plate, the weight of that, if there's no holes there and it's not in the bond to really well, if you had a flat surface, it could pull away from that. So that's the reason why they're with the larger machines now, they're actually starting to add more and more. Like I know the big industrial ones all have holes in them. So you have to have a platform, you have to raise your part off the bed as always. We never print directly on the bed, and then you scrape the part, then you scrape it off afterwards. Now, Uniformation have an option of a box that you can get with a hand plunger. That if you print the part, you can put you have one of these, Jamie, do you?
Yeah, I have one.
I don't have one of those. But you can actually put the part in there up there and push the part out of the hole, so it releases it easily.
So here's the little thingy, and here's the box, but I don't use it. I mean, they're not hard to get off the build plate.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
The part that you just held up there, right, with the prongs in it. Can you make a photocopy of that, standing upright, so I can see the size of the holes and the dimensions?
Oh, like put it on my printer and scan it.
Scan it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because I might make my own one, 3D print this model one, that you can print, as you can FDM print, to do something similar.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, because I was talking to them about that, and I never ended up getting one, which is fine. I don't mind. But in the long term, I'd like to be able to I suggested them that they even release the STL file so that people could 3D print a version, like a PETG or something, and they never did. But I'd like to. That way, then you can actually push it clean to get the part out of it yourself. Make your own one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to design, and then
you would have to. I mean, if you're going to print it in FDM, I would say ABS or PETG.
No, and PETG. I'd do it in PETG. Yeah, PETG would be fine and strong.
Yeah.
Or you could even do it in PETG, and where the holes are, where the prongs come out, put small bolts in there instead, and have holes there, and going through and put little bolts, so you have a metal part that's pushed down through it. So there's a few ways to do around that.
That would work.
Yeah, but I would try pure printed first, then I'd come up with a version that you could put little bolts in, like N5 bolts or something like that, whatever will fit through those holes. You want to have clearance, and then I'll come up with something, because I want to make my own version of it. And just then put a pad underneath, like the bubble wrap underneath it, so when the part falls out, it lands in bubble wrap.
Yeah, that's what I did. I put
bubble wrap or foam.
Foam in the bottom of it.
Yeah, a thick foam pad would work. Yeah. Or hold it as you push down. You have to hold the part as it releases. But I'd rather put a foam just in case you dropped it. For delicate pieces.
Can't hear you, Tim.
I print so many things that are like hair, and it's so fine. I don't want to break pieces off, so I would rather not use that thing and just remove it my way.
Well, it'd be fine to use it as long as you held the part and you push down, then you're holding it so it wouldn't drop. You could use it in that way.
I can overlook the build plate on this one. The Mono X 6K, I hate that build plate. The etched, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
checkerboard or whatever.
I don't have any of those machines.
It is so hard to get prints off.
Okay. This is 3D anything? Yeah, they're off because we're on here talking. And if I had my printers running,
mine are loud.
Yeah, they're loud. Like some of the printers are loud. The fans in them are loud. They would actually drown out the audio. So
mine aren't running, so I have too much stuff, and I shouldn't be printing.
Well, I just
print all the
recently
time.
finished, just last Friday, my last print is I finished this, which is a SpaceX Starship and the super heavy booster for it as well.
I'm going to tell y'all a little secret real quick.
What's the secret?
The best thing for cleaning resin.
What's that?
Baby wipes.
For cleaning it out of something, out of the vat.
For cleaning your hands, for cleaning up stuff. Baby wipes.
I use spray away glass cleaner and blue shop towels.
Yeah, I use spray away too, but just for like little stuff, baby wipes will get it off. I just got resin on my hands from that bill plate, and I just did a baby wipe, and my hands are clean now. But I learned that a long time ago with my epoxy pouring resin to use a baby wipe because that cleans it up. And then I thought, why doesn't it work here? Well, it does. So yeah,
basically
the big old pack is $1 at the Dollar Tree.
Cool. The baby wipes don't have alcohol in them.
No,
you're better off to use for resin. You're better to clean off skin, especially something with alcohol. You want IPA.
I don't know what's in the baby wipes that cleans up the resin, but it takes it off.
They have soaps and stuff in there. Yeah, they can't use alcohol to touching baby's skin.
But like Dawn dish soap or dish liquid will clean up resin.
Some of them, it might, but you still, I would still flush first with IPA and then use wash it down with whatever. That's just me. I know what resin is made out of. I know how bad it can be for you. So I'm always super cautious with it because a lot of people don't realize you use resin and it may not affect you at all, and you could be using it for months and even years, but over time it actually affects your immune system.
Yeah,
degrade your immune system.
You can use it for months and not have any issues,
and then all
of a sudden you have hands like mine. That remember I had the chemical burns basically all over my hands.
Yeah. So it could be fine you could be fine for months or years, and all of a sudden you wake up one morning, and all of a sudden, and even the smell of it will bother you. So
somebody knows Liam.
Yeah.
Liam, I either saw a video.
Not to use.
I either saw a video or read somewhere, but let me know what you think of this. Is if you get resin on your skin, you're not supposed to use IPA. You're supposed to use soap and water for like quite a few minutes to get it off, because the alcohol would actually break it down and make it easier to penetrate your skin.
Yeah.
Like you use alcohol on stuff that's not your skin.
Alcohol pollutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so what do you think
I would
about
believe that,
Liam?
Maybe that's
I get
why
resin on my hands quite often, especially when my blue gloves break or I forget to put them on. I might get a little resin here or there. I'll wipe it off with a blue shop towel, sink in soap and water really good, dish soap, and wash my hands really good. And then I myself am fine.
I generally don't get any on my skin because I'm very careful with it. But I use the heavy duty, the 9mm gloves that you get in Harbor Freight, the heavy duty rubber gloves.
Yeah,
I use those. They don't tear.
Yeah, they do. When you have nails like that.
Well, yeah,
it will tear.
Yeah, I used to buy their 5mm.
So yeah, the first time I got resin on my hand, I freaked out and I sprayed with alcohol because I'm like, yeah, that's the right thing to do, and then cleaned it off. And I realized, well, the second time I did not do that. Soap and water.
Well, I generally don't get any on my skin because these are the gloves.
He's still talking and
these
just
9mm.
Yeah.
These are.
I'm getting better. Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
And
but they'll still get holes in them. I don't get holes just like regular use, but it's when I'm taking supports off, I tend to like scratch the little nibs off with my fingernail, and that's when I start getting holes.
Yeah, that would tear it because you're actually repeatedly scratching over a sharp area.
When I cleaned all the supports off all those minis, and I did that on live stream, the next day my fingers were just throbbing, killing me.
I bet.
But yeah.
Well, I don't do that. I tear it off. I'd rather have the little pieces left on there, I'd rather cure it and then file it down afterwards.
No.
That's
well, I do different stuff than you do.
Yes.
I need to have almost perfection. So I do all of my cleaning, sanding, everything before I cure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I use a knife. I use a hobby knife to get the little nibs off, to get it flat. And if there's anything that needs to be sanded, that's done before curing.
No, I find it so easy to sand resin when it's cured. It actually cleans up really easy with sandpaper.
It's like sanding your heels for those that do that, like I do.
Yeah.
No, it comes off as like when you sand it, it comes off as a really fine powder.
Yeah,
it's so easy to get a smooth finish afterwards.
And also, if you sand before it's cured, you have none of that dust flying around.
No meters, Mr. Anything. Meters. I'm European. We use meters.
How long do you cure a print?
Like 10 minutes aside. It all depends what you're doing. It's all guesswork, pretty much.
I don't go that long. I only use 6 minutes.
For small stuff, well, I can't show her, but
what I normally do is do 6 minutes. Then I'll like standing up and then I'll lie on the side and another 6 minutes.
Like she was torso.
8 to 10 minutes. What I would cure for.
I would cure like 5 minutes on one side and 6 minutes on the other.
Yeah.
But everything is hollow. So then I cure on the inside. So, but if it's something bigger, then yeah, probably 10 and 10, or if it's a little bitty thing like her sword, that was like 2 and 2.
You can always put it out in the sun. And even if you have a cloudy day, you still get the UV from the sun. So it doesn't matter if you have clouds. If the sun's up there somewhere and clouds are in the way, you can still cure outside if you need to.
Yeah.
That's why people get sunburned in the shade and they can't figure out why.
Yeah.
If it's shiny, does that mean it hasn't been cured enough?
If it's shiny, it means it wasn't cleaned enough before you cured it.
Yeah, it's resin left on the print. It wasn't washed off really well.
A toothbrush.
But that also depends on the resin.
It does. What I use is I get IPA in a toothbrush, obviously with gloves, before curing, and after like washing it a few times, I'll get the toothbrush and I'll scrub it all down with the toothbrush, and then I'll re-rinse it again in the IPA to clean it off, and then you let it dry 100% before you cure it.
Yep.
I have an ultrasonic cleaner with mean green. I don't use it very much anymore. I typically go straight into my
Liam, get me off of there.
You were showing stuff.
Well, no, I haven't been showing stuff for a long time.
We're leaving you up there because it has been a while since you've been on, and we want to make sure you're real.
It's been a minute. But the what I was going to say about shiny, the test print for the GK1, they also test it at the factory, and they send you that print. I don't know why they send it to you, but it's shiny. But that's just the resin.
Oh, that's new. They used to do that before. Show that again. See, this is why I left you up.
See how shiny that is?
Yeah.
That's like only certain spots. It's not the whole thing that's shiny.
It
is. You just couldn't see it on there.
If it's certain spots that are like, if it's evenly smooth, that's one thing. But if you see a super shiny spot in certain areas, especially like in crevices and so on, it's IPA that was resin that was not fully washed off.
If you're going to prime them and paint them, it's going to hide it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, here's a good example. Put me back up there. This is. Let me fix my light.
Dino.
Yeah, but you can see how opaque he is, right?
Dino eating some poop on the ground he found from the neighbor's dog.
But he's hollow, and I didn't get him washed good on the inside, so his hiney. That's the way I put the hole. Can you see that, how it's shiny right there?
Yes, the resin seeping out, yeah.
That's where resin has seeped out, and it didn't get cured, so I'll have to clean that up and cure. I still haven't cured them on the inside yet, but that's what uncured looks like.
And if you don't
get
cure...
those little UV lights, any LED UV
No,
light?
you have to have a UV LED. So we posted a link a while ago. Let me copy it. Let me paste it here again in chat.
Yeah, I jumped in right as you guys were stopped.
There it is. That's where you get them. Hey, Matt, we're talking about resins. That's why Matt's here.
Here's a homemade one I made.
Oh, really?
I had some UV lights, homemade one, right? Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Jerry?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, but that fiber optic one is a good idea. That will work really well. I'm going to buy some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get it in different lengths. You can get it in different millimeters.
So you just light it up with a battery like Jerry's got?
Yeah, like
a double A?
I may not have any. There's a little bit of juice left in there.
It comes with the batteries, right? With the unit.
That one's
you
about
have to
dead.
you have to use a UV light as well?
Yeah, you've got to hook it up to. Hold on, let me show you.
I thought it was already had the UV built in. So you have to have the UV LED and this. Okay.
So my flashlight's dead, but I'm going to use this. My nail curing light. I knocked my microphone off.
So do they sell a UV source as well that that comes with that?
I don't think so.
Okay, because you need to have a UV source as well. So you'd have to find some form of UV source for it to work with.
A small UV flashlight or anything, just put up the fiber optics and it'll beam through it.
See that?
Yeah.
So where the other end of that is simply up against your nail curing UV light, right?
I'm just holding it up against my.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand how fiber optics works. Yeah. The beam of light just shoots down at whatever color.
So, like what I would do.
You can get a 405 nanometer UV LED like Jerry has. And what you do is you can actually tape it onto it or make 3D printed parts that mounts in there.
Or just buy a UV flashlight and hold it up to the lens, stick it inside of it.
If you had that fiber optic long enough, you could just stick it in the curing machine, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me turn it.
So Jamie,
because my stupid light is so
it's
bright.
It's official. Jamie is now stuffing a tube up Dino's dino.
I'm giving him a UV enema.
And a UV enema. That's it. A UV enema.
but I mean, you want to cure the inside of your prints for the biggest reason is that they can split later.
Or if not only split, they can actually, the resin uncured will weep out through the part.
Can seep out, and then really make a mess.
I had a Batman years ago. I didn't properly clean out the inside of it and dry it first, and its chest blew up like an alien baby like a month later.
Yeah, that's so. And after you put in so much work on a model, you don't want it to split.
Yeah, I just rinse them really good in IPA, and like I said, I take an air compressor and I go out in the garage, have a couple good holes, and I can blow them out and completely dry them out 100%. And then whenever possible, I cure the inside, but I don't always cure the inside, but I try to whenever possible. But as long as they've been flushed out and dried 100%, usually you're fine.
Yeah, I would for what you're saying that you have there, I would recommend that you use a UV LED. You can buy the LEDs; they're really cheap. They're maybe $1 at most, and you need a diode. So you need to calculate what diode you need. There's a little bit of math formula to figure out what diode you need. What's that, Matt?
Those are UV LEDs. They are 5 millimeters, I think. That's what I use.
What's the NM?
And what do you plug them into?
That's not the UV one. Hold on.
This is a 405 nm UV flashlight.
I have some of those. Yeah, I use those for astronomy.
Okay, on Thingiverse, there's a file that you screw off this end, and it screws on, and it has a tiny little hole for that fiber optic cable to go into.
Yeah,
okay, good.
Yeah, but I would just get an LED, and I'd use a dedicated for that.
Yeah, so these are 5 millimeter LEDs, and it is 405. It's 395 by 405.
Okay.
So and these are made by
those LEDs. You just wire up.
How you liking that 10 log there, Matt? That IDEX?
It's good. I did my my first prints right here. got a multicolor. It was rainbow and gold.
Good.
So
That
first
came out
one that I
good.
did. Came off perfectly fine.
The 10-log is a nice machine.
Yeah, so I unboxed it, and there was an issue with the E2. It wasn't like homing properly. I don't know exactly what happened, but I loosened up the belt on the right side, the pulley. I loosened it a little bit, and then it started working fine.
No.
And then it like jammed up really quick. I did a quick restart, and then it's been fine ever since. So
yeah,
we had some issue because one of the other spools of filament that they sent, it kept breaking. It was just brittle. It was bad filament. So I swapped it out for the rainbow one, and so I'll just use that and see what we can do. But I figured I'd start something small. I just chopped it up in sheet 2 box and then put it together in Cura, and yeah, simply most of it is, I'd say about 60% of it is gold, and then the rest is the rainbow filament. But
what slicer did you use?
Cura.
Okay.
So you can't tell it which A or B.
You can do. There's 2 options you have. You can either, if it's a single piece model, you can slice them, split the model, and you can decide the top half to one extruder, bottom half to another. The other option is you can do is let it print, and during printing, there's a button dead center to say to do a switch head. You push that button, it will heat extruder 2, park extruder 1, and extruder 2 will come out and start printing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I did is I basically split the model in half in sheet 2 box, exported the STLs, and then I imported them into Cura, and then I have it set up for extruder 1, extruder 2. Yeah. I have extruder 1 as like a yellow filament, and then extruder 2 is green, so I know which one is what.
Yeah.
And then from there I can choose which one I want to have it set up. And if I wanted to, I could split it even more. So if I wanted to cut that up 5 different times, I can go ahead and do that. Or easier, just
I like
do it on
I like Idea Maker because I can split it in the slicer. So you can divide it. You can actually split it in there now. Or the new version of Prusa Slicer, you can actually paint an area and assign that area you paint it to a different extruder.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So if you have a single part, you can actually select areas that you want, and then those areas you select, you say goes to extruder 2, but you have to slice it in Prusa. You can't export that model and run it somewhere else and re-slice it. It all has to be done in Prusa because Prusa knows the area you painted, and it just decides how to write the G code. But if you're just slicing a model like that, Idea Maker is great for that. It does a nice even cut, and then then they're basically 2 separate models. You can export them separately, or you can just assign the extruders in there.
Right.
So Matt, isn't that one pretty reasonable priced?
I mean, it's kind of on the expensive side, but I guess it's cheaper. It's $6.99 right now, but there was a 50% off discount code that they gave me. Right. It was only for a day, but I mean, for $330,
that's
I
a
think
great
it was
deal
on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot beat that. Like, you basically have a CR10 with an extra extruder,
right?
And it's funny because everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's a disaster!" This and that. I'm like, I know they're a disaster. I've heard about them. But this is all like redone. They upgraded a lot of things on it, and like the older versions, they used to have the connector right at the extruders. Now it's hardwired at the extruder, and the connector's at the back. And they have BMG extruders on here now. So
I have the old one, and it never fails me.
See, and that's what I hear. Like, I know you play a lot with the IDEX printer, so everybody's like, if you got any questions, ask Liam, and I'm like, yeah, I'll probably end up getting them. But like I said, the only issue that I had was the E2 like binding up when I first unboxed it. But it took me all of maybe 15 minutes to fix that, and like I said, it's been printing fine ever since. So
yeah.
All right, guys. I guys see you guys later.
All right, go get sleep.
I'll see you later on the live stream, Matt. I'll see you in chat.
Bye, Matt.
All right. Have a great night.
Ciao, Matt.
Let's check out the helmet there,
all the years ago and still makes. Yeah, but the problem, the issue with S3D is
Liam, make him big before he takes it off.
Oh no! Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh no! Good catch.
Hey, do it cool, like Ultraman or something. There you go.
Pretty cool.
This is resin.
Oh wow.
So
resin print?
I printed this in 2 sections. I sliced it right down the middle. You might even be able to see some of the seams. Oh no, I covered them up pretty good, but
not too bad.
Wow.
No,
there you go.
lovely.
You can kind of see the seam down the center
when
there.
when you paint that, it won't be seen.
So this is a commission piece. I didn't even know who designed this. It was just brought to me, and they're like, "Hey, can you print this out for me? I don't have a printer." And so like I suggest, printing it in FDM, and they're like, "No, I'd like it in resin because it shows off a little more of the detail." I said, "Okay." And so I posted it up on my TikTok, and somebody's like, "Hey, I think that's the helmet from this designer." It was like Yosh Studios or something. And he's got a store on Etsy that you can find like all of his helmets, and he's got some amazing like mashup helmets.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got like this is like a Samurai Halo Infinite helmet, I guess.
Yeah, you can tell that it's a mashup.
Yeah, so it's got a whole other sash that goes to it as well. So it's real crazy how big this thing gets.
Holy cow!
Wow.
See, I would be worried to death that in resin I would drop it or something like that.
If you use ABS resin, it's more forgiving.
Cool. This is all done with focus resin.
Yeah, but which focus resin?
Well, gray, obviously.
Gray.
Okay. No, that's not what I meant. Don't they have more than one type of resin?
Yeah, their resin print's great.
Yeah. I want to ask though, Matt and Jerry, I know you guys all got the focus resin.
Yes.
The red wax. Did you ever get it to print?
I haven't even tried it yet.
Print's fine. I had no trouble with it. I had trouble with Anycubic Craftsman resin.
Oh,
yeah, I done a video on
Craftsman.
I done a video on it. The video, everything came out great. Then I went and bought some off Amazon a couple weeks later, and it was like water. And all week long, I had nothing but fail after fail. Had to get a refund on all 3 bottles. And because there's so many resins out there, I'll never try it again because I had a bad experience.
Yeah.
That's funny because the opposite happened to me. They sent a bottle with the M3 Max that I have here, and I printed the Akuma model, and it looked great. And then I took it off the build plate, and I was like, there's holes everywhere in this. Like, what happened? And then after that, it didn't print at all. Like, I don't know what happened to it. It just stopped printing. So
I can't get it to print. They sent me a big bottle, and I can't get it to print by itself at all. But if I mix it with something else,
or the Craftsman?
then I'm okay.
And then I reviewed 3D. I reviewed 3DRS, which is in the U.S. It's very expensive. Matt's reviewed it. I had a lot of trouble with it. I had lots of trouble with it.
Really?
And I don't think Matt had any trouble with it.
So. Yeah, no, I mean, I've had troubles lately, but that's because I literally took their standard, their model, and their fast and their hard, and I mixed it all together, and then I printed some stuff with it, but it's not very forgiving.
Have you tried this, Matt?
Crazy. I do have a bottle of that. I have not got to it. I don't have the 60. I have one of those. Hold on.
This is a 68. M68.
I think I have the 70, if I'm not mistaken.
By Resin. So this is the ABS tough resin.
Yeah, I think I just have their standard resin.
You know what?
I would much rather print with standard resin on any day.
I've printed with this. The stuff prints really easy. I've had great prints with it.
Yosu resin prints great too. I've had no trouble with Yosu.
The 181 is
Yosu wrapper.
My favorite of everything is Sunlu. It will print. I don't care what the temperature is. If you've got your settings wrong,
I don't think I've tried Sunlu resin. I mean, maybe I have, but I'm not sure.
I haven't.
I sent you a 50% off coupon. Did I not?
Did you? I don't remember. I don't know if I've ever tried the resin or not. Maybe I have. I got so many damn videos and I got so many things going on. I'd have to go look at my videos to see if I've used something or not.
3 1 kilogram bottles for $48.
This is the uniformation print resin. It prints okay as well.
It's amazing resin. The X15, X13.
Yeah, this is the
X13 gray. Yeah.
Yeah, the X13.
They sent me their X22 because I guess I won some things from them, and I was like, oh, okay.
In my
I didn't even realize it was a giveaway. I told them like ideas for their next printer, and I didn't realize that it was a giveaway. I was like, oh.
On my Anycubic Photon Mono X, I run Cheetah Box Pro, and typically almost every resin I get, 99% of them, I simply dump it in and print, and it works fine. I don't have to tweak any settings. My dent support layers a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, I cranked up 75 to 80% to give me more dent supports because initially with some resins, they were pulling the model was pulling off the supports. So I increased my dent support layers, and ever since then, everything I get, I dump it and print, and I rarely ever have any issues.
You don't ever change any settings?
I don't have that one.
No.
Yeah, that's the one they
When
sent
I
me.
first got this 6X, I put in Elegoo Clear Blue because that's my favorite thing to print with because it makes amazing time-lapse videos, and that's what I love to do. I could not get a print off of this thing. Could not get it to print for anything. And I was finally like, okay, I'm taking that out. And I poured in some Sunlu, and that's what I printed this
Yep.
Fred Flintstone on. Prints just fine.
Yeah, so that helmet that I just printed, actually half of it is Focus and part of it is mix of Focus and Sunlu.
Yeah, Sebastian, the Yusu comes in metal bottles.
Whenever I buy resin, I don't get it free. Occasionally, I buy resin. I always buy Strytech. I used to use Elegoo a long time ago, but my go-to is Strytech, and it's usually based on price most of the time.
Oh, Matt. Sorry, Matt.
Sebastian, I think that code is over now.
It might be. Have you been dealing with the guys at iFun?
And yeah, I love
it's been a while since I've dealt with them. No. Not
okay,
recently.
I don't mean the resin though.
Yeah, no,
they've released a new printer. You know the little giant they call it?
Yeah. Or isn't it Little Monster or something like that?
Little giant or Little Monster. I think it's a Little Giant.
Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah,
I'm surprised you haven't been speaking with them.
T89 or whatever it
Hey,
is.
Britt, how are you? Yeah,
Who is this?
Go, guys.
They told me that they selected me because they selected a handful of people. Oh,
Are you
take care,
leaving,
Marcus.
Ethan?
Are you leaving as well, John?
Yeah, I gotta
Who's
go.
leaving?
Take care, John.
Take care.
Have a good one, John.
Later.
Bye, John.
So they let me know the other day
Hey,
that
Britt.
they're shipping me one of their. Are you leaving also?
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, they haven't contacted me about it. I asked them before they started releasing it, or at least doing like the live streams for it, but I haven't heard anything since. So
yeah, so what they did was they asked people to submit names of reviewers, and I put my name in myself, but well, they want people to put their name in, right? Others did too, but apparently they asked people. And then they sit down and they got all the names and they sit down and they reviewed the people and their streams and stuff. And I got selected. So
nice.
I don't know a date yet, but they are. Oh, Jerry's having what?
Dumplings.
Hot sticker.
Hot stickers.
Oh yeah.
I
Nice.
love hot stickers.
What clear resin do you like?
There's a link here. If you want, oh, that's the wrong link.
Hey, Brett, like 10 minutes, okay?
I use Clear Blue, but it's barely blue, or the X10 Uniformation. It's great.
Uniformation.
Have you ever printed rubber resin?
Yes.
How hard is it to print?
Well, it was older, so very, very hard to print. It required high print times. But again, this was like 2.5 years ago. Maybe longer.
Okay.
Was the last time I printed resin. I know it was a big topic a couple months back. When who was it? Someone, I think it was Wanhao that came out with their black rubber or whatever. But I had clear rubber. I still have some of it left. It's elastic technically, But I printed with it, and normally like print times back then were at like 8-9 seconds usually for normal resins, and I had to print that all the way up at 15.5 seconds.
Oh, double!
So,
Wow.
The exposure time.
So nowadays, it'd probably be like 8 or 9 seconds you'd have to print that at, maybe more. So it is a screen killer, but I mean, it comes out very well.
I think I'm going to get a bottle of that. My husband prints model car parts, and he prints a lot of wheels and tires.
Yep.
And I think that black rubber would be awesome to do tires.
Well, you could do those on your focus printer.
Yep.
With TPU.
Oh yeah, but that's not cool.
Okay. I've been putting my.
You can do it in half the time.
He's got a focus too.
On a resin.
I'm with Jamie on that one. The
No, I
reason
like
I
the
asked
idea
is
of doing printing flexibles, but.
Britt, are you coming in?
Britt, I saw your message. Just give me a second. I'll get to you.
I found a good clear resin. Actually, 3D printing professor kind of found it. He was looking for a really clear resin that didn't yellow.
Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Larson, and then it's called Resin brand. It's called G217.
Yeah,
and,
Resin is like a higher end brand, but a lot of people don't know about it. It's like the hidden gem, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. So it's about twice as expensive as the other, isn't like your Allergies and everything. But it's called G217, and it's a little bit blue actually before you cure it, and then eventually the blue kind of evaporates and becomes completely clear, and there was no yellowing at all. It just was really a good print.
Print farms in the USA, but not in Texas.
The lights on my Ghostbuster car, after I cleared them in IPA, I clear coated them, then I cured them, and they didn't fade on me.
Isn't the biggest resin print farm? Isn't that Invisalign?
It might be. If not, it might be Metalist 3D. They have quite a lot of printers. Well, maybe not the biggest, but they have the most build volume per printer.
Well, FTM. Well,
it's resin. It's resin.
Oh, if it's the biggest FTM, I know IC3D have a really big print farm. I don't know. I know TH3D has a whole pile of printers. Who just dropped out?
Mr. 3D Anything is Mr. Googling anything while we're chatting, so he knows the answer.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure who's the biggest FTM.
I don't know.
I know TH3D has about 30 printers in his farm.
I'm gonna say the Nerf guy.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's people like companies that have thousands up and running somewhere.
Yeah, well, in the US, I'm not sure. I know in Europe, it's Prusa print most of their part. Oh, what's the name?
It's probably
Lulzbot. Stratasys or Lulzbot.
Yeah, it could be. Well, Lulzbot kind of like reformed, so I don't know about anymore.
No. Lulzbot 3D printed a lot of their parts. They have a huge
right. But Lulzbot's just reformed their company.
I know, but they still do their own printing of their parts. But a lot of their machines are not. All the connectors and so on are all printed, and they printed in house. I've seen.
Yeah, so it might be Lulzbot then, because the last time I remember they had like almost 300 printers in their print farm.
I'm not sure then. So who is it, Mr. Anything?
It's probably Lulzbot.
It's either them, or maybe them, or it could be Stratasys.
But the thing is okay, we're probably talking about like if you Google searched who has the biggest 3D print farm, it'll probably come up with some company, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the biggest print farm. There's probably people out there who are like you or I or any of us here that have a print farm that has far more than that.
It's probably like somebody that does D&D minis.
Maybe. So who is it? You asked the question, but we don't know the answer. So who is it? If you know the answer, let us know. We all like this trivia kind of stuff. It's interesting to hear. As I said, for resins, I would probably say it's Invisalign.
Mr. 3D Anything, why don't you drop in? Why don't you drop in on camera, Mr. 3D Anything?
Yes, do drop in. Yeah, because
Slant 3D.
Slant 3D.
Never
heard of them.
Never heard of them.
But what do they make?
It doesn't even ring a bell.
Thing. That's what I want
Tell
to
us
know.
more, Mr. 3D.
Oh, they're a high volume.
Elaborate on that answer.
I have to buy about a few thousand.
Never heard of them.
They probably make sex toys.
Says Jerry hoping.
That's probably right, Jerry.
That's why they're the biggest print farm around.
So they look like their machines are based on Lulzbot machines, kind of. I'm just having a quick look at their site. They build their own machines. They build their own printers too. And apparently they do a lot of printing for their own machines. A lot of their machines do have 3D printed parts in them. So, yeah, but I know Lulzbot do a whole pilot for their own machines.
Stephen,
too.
I didn't even see.
Yeah, so Lulzbot, like I said,
Stephen.
they have 300
Hello.
printers in their farm.
Yeah. Never heard of them until now.
Yeah, I've never heard of Slant.
No.
But I still don't know what they make.
They design their own printers and sell them, and they also do printing services.
But I've never even heard of that printer. Like, I know a lot of
I
people.
never
Are
heard
they
of the
called
Mason either.
Slant 3D printers? Probably
Yeah,
a
the
Kiva
Mason 3D
Tornado
printer,
or
never
something.
heard of it. But they also do a lot more. It looks like on their website they do an awful lot more. It's interesting. I didn't know about them. Services is 3D printing and Angled.io. What's that? Angled.io. Welcome to a half covered. Oh, they sell 3D prints as well. They do modeling.
All right, guys,
and
I gotta hop off. If you guys
Right.
are still on in a little bit, I'll hop back on. But
You're heading off to, oh, you're not working tonight?
No, I'm not. No, so I'm in the middle of switching jobs, so I'll be off until Monday.
Oh, okay.
So
Have a great night. Keep
I
up the
will
great
see
work.
you on TikTok, Matt. We're like TikTok buddies.
Now I see all your TikToks.
11 or 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, or I'm just getting ready to go to bed. I'm flipping through channels. He's on YouTube, so I grab my phone, unplug it off the charger. I'm trying to type in chat while I'm watching him on screen laying in bed. That happens quite a bit.
Take care, Britt. Have a good
all right,
rest.
guys. You have a good one. See you, Britt.
Bye, Britt.
Bye.
Didn't even get to talk to you.
Take care, Brett.
She's not feeling well, she said.
Yeah.
Hope you're feeling better. But yeah, so
Oh, I didn't even say bye to Matt. I guess I did though.
yeah, we all did kind of. So, but what else is going on? I just need to start gearing up now for Toys for Tots. That's my big thing coming up now.
I didn't even show this Moon Knight model that I'm.
Oh, do. Let me put you up.
Yeah, that's a funny show, Moon Knight. It's kind of odd, funny, good, not good, a little bit of everything all in one.
Yeah, I loved it. I needed more of it.
It's a bit weird.
Well, it's definitely Marvel.
Yeah, definitely Marvel. And
profession would
if
allow
it's
you to do
and if
live
it's Marvel,
streams.
I'm not gonna miss it. It's just a bust, but it's a 1/4 scale, so it's humongous.
So who's the artist, Jamie?
It's Wicked 3D.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't got anything from Gabriel in a while. I mean,
I feel bad because I mean I'm not in their Patreon, but he
he
sends
doesn't
me
care.
whatever I want, and I haven't painted anything for him. So this will be the first.
That's why I introduced you. As long as you show your work online, that's enough for him. Makes him happy. So,
Well, that's good.
Nice.
It's just in Prime, so I mean,
That still looks really good, though.
That's cool.
yeah, it's a pretty good model, and it's a year old, so they were pretty close on what the show. It was released April of 21, so they got pretty close.
No, that looks really good. Yeah, now that the weather's warming up, I'll probably do a little bit more resin.
That's at his 100% scale, right?
Yeah, 1/4 scale. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just so used to everything that I download. Most of it's from Mega. I'm used to
Sizing it up.
1/6 scale.
Okay.
So I just put it up in the printer and off I went with it. And this thing is, I was like, oh my God, what scale is this? But it's 1/4 scale. So, I mean, it'll be easier to paint. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, it looks really good. Nice and clean.
Can I share what I was working on stream before I rated you?
Absolutely, because Britt said she loved your paint job. I want to see this.
I'm going to share my screen here.
Oh, screen share?
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, it does look really good.
It's going to be a second.
Someday when I grow up, I'll do prints like that.
This right now has a Kieran paint job on it. He's the one that said everything is primer gray.
Jerry, is the food you're eating going to make you sneeze? Sometimes when I eat certain foods, I have to cover my nose so I don't sneeze.
Putting pepper on it.
I think I'm sharing it.
You're not sharing it. I don't see anything on this side.
I did not. I did get some used to dual color filament today.
Okay, so Sebastian, you're still waiting for the resin, are you? Can you message me directly? I don't think you did. Can you message me directly on here on Whisper? Whisper me directly. I want to verify that it's you, that it's the right person, because like they should have sent out all of those. Some of it was resin, some of it was spools of filament, I think. But let me know, please, because if it hasn't happened, okay. Give me a bigger message than hi, and I will message them tonight before when we finish up here, which will be shortly.
The sun makes me sneeze. I go out in the sun and I sneeze constantly.
I sneeze every morning when I wake up about 30 times.
I sneeze like it bothers me. Show me
it's a permission issue, so I'm going to do it the old school way. I'm going to show you from my phone.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God, those are so cute.
All silks.
Those
nope, so those are printed in black, and then I use the gilding or highlighting technique. One is gold rub and buff, and then silver rub and buff, then just red acrylic paint, red and silver acrylics, and then yellow acrylic.
Do you wipe on with your finger, or do you use a brush or rag? Or
I use a dry sponge. I can show you a couple of them.
It works amazingly well if you use like a cloth, but not like an old T-shirt.
Yeah, something doesn't have any fibers sticking
no
out.
texture, or fibers. And the more you rub it, the shinier it gets. I love rub and buff. Those look amazing.
And so I think I actually prefer the all red one.
Yeah,
the best, but
nice work. Very nice.
Very nice.
They're so cute. They're they're so little.
Very nice.
You did a great job.
I'm done.
Sure.
It's like, get me off big. I'm done.
Yeah. So Sebastian messaged me again. Like they said they had shipped these out, but I'm wondering if they've come from China or if they're shipping it from the local Amazon store. I'm not sure. You're based in Europe, Sebastian, aren't you? If I remember correctly.
It was 2 days ago that Selena hit me up and asked me if I wanted to do videos on their new dual color, and I got it.
In the door back there.
Yeah, because it came from an Amazon store in the States, but I think Sebastian's in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in Germany. So I don't know. Let's ping me again, please, right now, and I will check I'll message them shortly. It's like when we're finished here, I will message them just to find out what was it shipped or not, because I want to make sure that I have all the information correct when I send it to her again. It should have gone out, but I will ask her, and if she has a shipping number, I'll ask her if she has a shipping number. If it has been sent, yes or no. And she says yes, then I'll say, can you send me the shipping number, because nothing has arrived yet. Yeah, okay, you send me via Proton Mail. That's fine. So let me check that mail. Are you down there, Sebastian, on that again? I just want to make sure that when I do a search.
Hey guys, I'm gonna run.
Well, we're going to wrap up here anyway, any moment.
Okay.
You have a great night. Thank you for that link, Jamie. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem at all. I got to get my stuff set up because I'm going to stream Twitch my first time painting.
Cool.
So, all right. I will see y'all tomorrow.
Have a great night.
See you, Jamie.
Let me see, Germany. I just look for the word Germany. I'll find your email. You did not have Germany anywhere in there. I searched for the word Germany.
Can someone shout out Jamie in the chat just so that
I don't have it pulled up. Anybody in chat, mods, please do a shout out. Yeah, I haven't called him that at all today, have I?
Yeah, just 1 second. You're a mod, are you, Marcus?
I am, but I don't like. Reason I'm asking is I'm not sure I'm following Jamie. Like I would like to make sure that I am.
And if she didn't type the chat already, won't be able to tag her. You got to type her name exact or channel up. Because sometimes I try to tag people and I have to go find them if they haven't commented.
Homemade jam. Let me get the exact. Yeah, it's not showing up for me. Just homemade jam, isn't it?
Yeah, homemade jam 3D, probably one word. I don't have Twitch pulled up, so it should be homemade jam 3D, one word.
There it goes.
Right,
got it. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, let me find that again, Sebastian. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just searching my email for that. Okay, I have your contact. So I will. Okay, I have it. I will message her again in a while, as soon as we're done here, to find out if it's been shipped. And if it has, I'll ask her, does she have a shipping number? Because you haven't received anything yet. So I will message. Take care. Okay, we're going to wrap it up anyway. So there's 14 of us. Let's see who's online right now. Raid channel. Let's see who's on. Barnacles. Chris is on. Buy Custom Fab. Lone Mountain. Let's go over Raid Chris. Let's go Raid Chris, guys.
Alrighty then.
Let's get this set up. So, guys, thank you again. I'm just getting this set up in the background. Thank you for hanging out with me. It was fun, as always. Remember, starting next week, I'm going to move these to Tuesday, not Wednesday. I'm going to start doing my Hangouts on Tuesday instead because there are conflicts with other big streamers, and I want to move away out of that conflict.
And so, I'm still on Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Yep, 1 p.m. Pacific. What about you, Marcus?
I'm streaming more often, but I don't have a schedule. It's random. They're usually short streams, and I'm working on something.
All right. All right, then. Let's raid over, and I'll see you guys. Take care. I'll probably see you.
Take care, everybody out there everywhere. Be safe.
Take care. Ciao. Good night. And the raid is running. And we should be over. We're over. There we go.
You already ended the stream?
Yeah, I'm about to end it right now. I was waiting for it to be over fully yet.
I forgot to do that one time, like a half hour later. It's like there's people in chat.